All right, so we're going. Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. It's time for the big game on this UWCL Sunday. It's Manchester United taking on Arsenal. Game week 3 of the UWCL season. Two sides who have had perfect records to start this campaign, but one of them will have to give that up today as they face off in this crunch match. It's sure to be a very exciting game. Manchester United, 2 wins on the board so far, opened the season with a dismantling of Leicester and decided to go one better and put 5 past London City Lionesses in match week 2. As for Arsenal, well, they also put 4 behind London City Lionesses, slightly less, and then decided to put 5 past West Ham. So both have had very good starts to the season, Harry. Should be a good one.
Exactly that. It's a massive, massive clash at the top of the table. And though it is only game week 3, it could have massive consequences on the end result for the title. So it is a big one for both these sides to land the first blow. We've already seen Chelsea take on Manchester City and Chelsea be the ones to get 3 points in that match. But these two sides taking each other on. And as you say, someone's perfect start has to be halted this afternoon. Potentially even both sides' perfect start. So it's going to be a good game between two sides that are high-flying. It's so close to call. I think the predictions and the thoughts around the game are going to be so split depending on which way you sit. Even from a neutral point of view, it's very hard to pick these two sides apart. So it's going to be a very, very good game. It's going to come down to who can get it right when the final whistle is blown. And I'll be honest, I'm really excited.
Not when the starting whistle's blown?
No, it's going to wait until the very end.
Right, before when the game's about to end, who's got it right now? Okay, well, fair enough. Let's get into the lineups then. We're at the Lee Sports Village in Manchester, so we'll start with the hosts, Manchester United. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Skinner's side. In goal, Fallon Tolles-Joyce. A back four then of, we're going to have to try and piece this together because Jade Riviere doesn't start. So it looks like Celine Bizet at right back, Letitia and Janssen, the centre-back partnership with Sandberg at left back. In the midfield pivot, it's Miyazawa alongside Zigiotti. On the right wing, Jess Park. On the left wing, it is Fridolina Rolfo for her first start for Manchester United. And Ella Toon in attacking midfield with Melvie Mallard leading the line. No Riviere then for United. No Elizabeth Turland, but she does make the bench. Are you a little surprised by that, Harry?
I'm not surprised at all. Man United have been welcomed to the era of rotation. They went out there against Brann, and because they didn't get the job done in the first leg, they went out in the second leg on Thursday, had to play a full-strength side, and they've come away with it with an injury to Riviere and Turland not being fully fit. Now, again, that happens in football, and as a side who haven't featured in the Champions League for the last couple of years, it's something they're going to have to now get used to because it's caught them out today, and it, obviously, as a singular event, it won't cost them, but it could play a pretty decent part in them not winning today. But it's a little bit costly. They realistically would have liked to have been in a position to rotate on Thursday, and if they'd got the job done in the first leg, but it means that they do miss Riviere, which is a massive, massive blow because she is a very, very good player. Has looked brilliant for Man United this season, was brilliant when she came back in from injury last campaign, and a player that has been hit and miss with a pretty poor injury record, to risk her for 90 minutes to play that game against Brann was an interesting decision from Skinner, but he didn't rotate in that Thursday game, and they've been caught out by it, and it's now up to United with that makeshift back line to make do with what they've got.
But equally, they're in the Champions League proper for the first time, which they may not have been if they hadn't played full strength. So it's about weighing up the odds, and United are through in that. It does mean they're slightly weaker today. I think Jade Riviere is a phenomenal defender, a huge part of why their back line has been so difficult to break down. But I think the bigger thing they're going to lack today is her creativity from that right back position. If it is to be Celine Bizet, that will replace what Riviere offers going forwards, but I don't think she offers the same level defensively as someone like Jade Riviere. So that is going to be a bit of a step down. But overall, still a strong side for United. Turland on the bench. That one doesn't seem to be driven by injury, but instead by form.
Yeah, I think Melvie Mallard's been absolutely brilliant. As you say, Turland has started the last couple of games. I think it's a difficult one, but Mallard has been unstoppable recently. It has started this season brilliantly, has really come into her own. It just looks so dangerous when she gets on the ball, running in behind, and it's the composure that she's now added to her game, which could be key today. If Manchester United can get the ball over the top of that Arsenal backline, get Melvie Mallard running in behind one-on-one, then I think that United could be on the money today. But Mallard will play a big part in the the end result of this football match because she's in brilliant form. She's playing very, very well. And I think that she's rewarded with starting through the middle today, understandably so. A very, very good player, and it feels like she's starting to finally click in a red shirt for Man United. Been a bit hit and miss since she joined the club, but this season she is in red hot form and she has really hit the ground running.
Yeah, it feels like there's actually a plan for her now. I think she's moved so much between left wing and centre forward, but I think this season, given that they've got Fridolina Rolfo now coming in to play on the left-hand side, they've got Park who can play there, Bizet's played there a bit, and of course they've got Leah Galton as another option as well. They've got lots of options on the left-hand side now, meaning they can use Mallard through the middle, and I think she's looked really good in that position as a backup to Turner. I think that's going to be a great rotation there, and especially when they get to Champions League games, being able to have two out-and-out number 9s who are really strong, I think that's a great bit of rotation for United. So, yeah, I think they look fairly good in that position. And let's take a look then at the visitors' Arsenal. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal. In goal, Daphne Van Domselaar. Back line of Fox, Reid, Catley and McCabe. In the pivot, they continue with Mariona Caldente and Kim Little. On one flank, it's Olivia Smith. On the other, Caitlin Ford. Russo in the number 10 position. And leading the line, Stina Blackstenius. So, Russo not through the middle today. Arsenal keeping with their pivot. Does that surprise you, Harry?
Yeah, yes and no, it doesn't. It's a really weird one. I think that it's something we've seen Slagers do so often. Drop Russo into the 10, bring Blackstenius in and start this Caldente little pivot. It's so risky. I think it's such a bizarre decision. The pivot, not so much. That's something that we have seen a lot under Slagers, and it's worked the majority of the time. Sometimes they've got caught out, sometimes they haven't. But I will never understand playing Alessia Russo in attacking midfield. Alessia Russo is one of the, if not the best number 9 in the world right now. So to put her in the 10 to start Blackstenius just makes no sense to me whatsoever. I just cannot understand it from Renee Slagers. How can you take one of the most deadliest strikers in the world and, drop her into an attacking, a deeper role? It confuses me because Alessia Russo would start up front for every single side in the league and most sides in the world. So the fact that she is dropped into the number 10 to favour Blackstenius leading the line is interesting. I think that it confuses me when it is a game that favours Blackstenius. Does today really favour Blackstenius? I really don't think it does because you're not going to get in behind. I really don't think you are. Letitia is such a good defender that she will just bully Blackstenius out of this football match. So for me, it doesn't make sense to bring Blackstenius in, and it never makes sense to drop Alessia Russo deeper.
I think it'll be one of those where it's a tactical decision. They're looking to try and find space in behind. United do play a high line, so Blackstenius can potentially make those runs beyond. But I think I agree that on a day like today, where clinicalities can be so important, when you may not get many chances against Manchester United, we've seen in the past that Blackstenius is unreliable in front of goal. She's come up with some big moments, and undoubtedly, if they put her in behind today, she may score. Of course, she's a brilliant forward, but I just think she lacks consistency, and oftentimes she will just misplace the shots or rush them a little bit. So I do think that's a bit of an interesting decision today. And as you point out, I think to move Russo deeper and get less out of one of your best players. Like if you're going to go for Blackstenius, fair enough, but commit to that. And I don't think Russo offers you the same in that 10 role that she does up front. I think she offers you less than someone like Palova would in that 10 position. So that, for me, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would have started Russo through the middle. She's your best number 9. I think to use Caldente still in the pivot in a game like today where they're going to need someone potentially to have a little bit of magic to break down that United back line, I think it's a very interesting decision to have Caldente so deep. What I do like, though, is the inclusion of Smith and Ford. I think you get a really nice combination there where Olivia Smith's going to want to dart inside, to take players on, be dangerous from that left-hand side. Ford, great at making those back post runs on the right-hand side to try and get opportunities. So I really like that combination of players. I think if you're going to use someone, if you're going to use Smith, you've got to couple it with someone like Ford or Beth Mead rather than a Chloe Kelly. So I think that's a really nice combination. I think those two players will link up well together. But then again, that doesn't really fit with what they're looking to do with Blackstenius. So I don't understand that personally from Slagers today. And I think to use the midfield pivot, who have looked quite sluggish and have struggled to play out against worse pressing sides, to use that against United, who are so good at pressing, that for me is a little bit of an interesting decision. Already though, we've got Arsenal fans in the chat and they are feeling confident by the looks of it. Keep your thoughts coming in on the live chat. Let us know what you think of the lineups by both teams. We are 5 minutes away from kickoff though, so let's get into predictions. If you're watching along, give us your scoreline prediction in the live chat. We're going to start here in the studio though, and we'll start with yourself, Harry.
Wow, it's a really tough one. I think it's such a difficult one to predict, purely because both sides are playing so well. Like, usually in these big games, you can kind of favour one side on form, or even like take Chelsea Man City on the opening day, for example. Chelsea were the favourites going into that because it was City under a new manager and Chelsea have been playing with each other for a year. Today, though, you've got two managers who are settled, two sides that are playing some brilliant football. They're very, very hard to split. So I'm going to sit on the fence and I'm going to say a draw. I think I can't see either. I just can't separate them, to be honest. I will say 2-2. I think it's going to be a brilliant football match. A great contest for the neutral, but a bit of an up and down one for any fans of both of these clubs. I will say Arsenal to open the scoring through Olivia Smith on the left-hand side. United will then respond with a goal from Melvin Mallard. That will go into half-time at 1-1. United will then start fast out of the break and will take the lead through... I'll say a Maya Tissier penalty, and then it will be Arsenal to level it late on with a Kelly goal off the bench, 2-2. Great result, great action, and the overall winner is Chelsea. Really, out of that result?
Yeah, one hell of a game of football. I'm going to say very different thoughts. I'm going to say Manchester United 3, Arsenal 0. I think going off of what I've seen so far this season, United look a stronger side. I think Sandberg does weaken that somewhat, but they look really good coming forward. They look very difficult to break down. And I think Arsenal, they haven't impressed me yet. It could very much change today. And that's the thing. Arsenal are a very strong team. But from what I've seen so far this season, I'd say United have to be considered favourites for this game. I think they've looked so deadly in front of goal. The structure looks really strong. I think defensively they've looked really solid. I think it's going to side playing some really nice football. And that's an important distinction. So, yeah, I think I feel confident and I think they will win today. I mean, yes, there could be a bit of a European hangover and that has an impact, but we'll see. I think I don't think it's going to be easy for United. I just think they are playing so well at the moment. I think they'll do well. So, yeah, I'm going Manchester United 3, Arsenal 0. I will say goal scorers will be Melvin Mallard with a brace. She's in excellent form. And Ella Toom always shows up in these sorts of games. So I think she'll score as well. But yeah, keep your predictions coming in the live chat. Chife Gunners, welcome to the stream. Going 3-0 Arsenal. One hell of an away result that would be. Al saying 2 Arsenal wins today. Of course, Arsenal men taking on Manchester City in a very important game at 4:30. So yeah, that'll be a tough choice for Arsenal fans in about an hour's time, whether to watch the end of this game or start watching Arsenal Man City. But yeah, packed Sunday of football.
Yeah, this one's a difficult one. And I think that this one will be a good game. It all depends on who can play on whose weaknesses. Because if Arsenal can play out and target Ford or Smith running at Bizet, they could be on the money. But that question is if Arsenal play out. Because Man United will be right onto them. And if someone like Kim Little is getting caught on the ball and there's errors in the back line, then United will be all over that. So it's really going to depend who can kind of play on each other's weaknesses and who can take advantage when the other side drop the ball.
Yeah, indeed. Lovely to see another tribute. We spoke about this earlier, but the tragic news of Matt Beard's passing. It's lovely to see another tribute in this game as both Arsenal and Manchester United pay their respects to a WSL legend with a minute's silence here. It's been lovely to see that across the WSL today, and that will be observed excellently here between Manchester United and Arsenal. And I'm sure Matt Beard, wherever he is, will be watching this game with intrigue.
Yes.
It's a very interesting game between two excellent teams.
And that's what I love about the WSL is because there's so many, because we consider 4 sides to be in the title fight, there's such a big game like this right around the corner. And it's also why every single big game is a big game because it comes so thick and fast. If one side drops the ball today, suddenly they're 3 points off Chelsea, 3 points off whoever they lose to. So you already put yourself under a bit of pressure, and then you'll suddenly be level with Man City, who have already lost a game. So it really puts you into a difficult scenario where when you do start losing these big games. So it's very important that you hit the ground running, and that in this first big game, one of these two sides can land that first blow and make sure they retain their perfect start and make sure they get back on top spot, because top spot is up for grabs. Both these sides have got much better goal difference than Chelsea do, so whoever wins this game will go top of the WSL for match week 3, and that is not something to be sniffed at. So an opportunity for both these sides to kind of put themselves in a very, very good position and a good position to gain momentum and springboard off. But it's going to be a tight one, and it's definitely going to ebb and flow. You feel?
Yeah, definitely. Keep those predictions coming in. Baba Nibil going Arsenal to win by 2 goals. And the poll in chat, 65% going for Arsenal in this game, 29% Manchester United, and 6% going for a draw. So Arsenal carry the strong favour amongst those watching live. But do keep those predictions coming in. Keep the scoreline predictions coming into the chat. We're about to get underway here at the Leigh Sports Village. It's Manchester United versus Arsenal in match week 3 of the UWCL. 2 knocks it back, and we're underway in what is sure to be a very exciting game. Ball sent forwards. It's a win from Little in an aerial contest with Melvin Mallard. Ball bouncing around a little, and Janssen looking just to get some calm into the game. Here's Le Tissier. Now back to Janssen. And Le Tissier again. Arsenal pressing United aggressively. Zigiotti out to Bizet now. Goes back to Le Tissier. And United's defence is going to be so important. It was so important to them last season. The ball in behind. A good chance for Melvin Mallard. In for United. Looks to shoot. Great save from Van Domselaar. And that was such a good move. Back to front from Manchester United. There was a call for handball there from Mallard. But as she was the only one who appealed, very little chance of that being awarded a penalty. But wow, United so quick. Ball over the top from Le Tissier. Mallard was in. Great save from Van Domselaar.
Yeah, caught Arsenal's backline flat-footed. And yeah, really good from Van Domselaar. Mallard, it was a bit wider than she'd have liked it. But getting a shot on target already, testing the Arsenal goalkeeper, putting her under pressure. And that's all you've got to do in these opening games. Start fast and try and catch the opposition out. But I think Arsenal out of possession is going to be very interesting today. Very, very interesting, because both these sides are going to want to be on the ball. Especially if United get... Because I think United are better without the ball than Arsenal are. But if United are the ones getting on the ball, then I'm really intrigued to see how that's going to play out.
Why has Jade Riviere been dropped? She hasn't been dropped. She picked up a knock in the game against Brann on Thursday night, so she's out injured for this game. Hasn't made the squad. But yeah, that will be that's a big loss. Definitely a big loss for Manchester United. But Bizet will be looking to at least replace what they lose in an attacking sense. Here come Arsenal, and it's Caitlin Ford driving the ball forwards for the Gunners. Wants to find Olivia Smith on this right-hand side, who receives the ball well. Sandberg looks to close the angle. And Smith running out of room to use. Will now go back on herself and looking for some support from the white shirts of Arsenal. Loses possession, manages to get away with it though, and it goes to Fox. Now back out to Smith. Looked like she may have dragged Rolfo down with her there, Smith, but does get away with it. Here's Caldente out now to the left-hand side with McCabe. And she'll be forced backwards still into Steph Catley. Catley now looking to switch the play to the right-hand side. Brilliant control from Fox. But again, Sandberg keeps tight with her, deals with it well, and it's cleared away by Hinata Miyazawa.
Really well defended from United. Arsenal knocking it back about nicely, but this is what we can expect to see. Bit more like it. Arsenal getting on the ball. United sitting in, being defensively strong, and then looking to pounce.
Ella Toon looking to break for Manchester United. Plays the ball in behind. It's Mallard taking on Reed. Reed does really well there. Looks assured in that moment. Outpaces Mallard, knocks it back to Van Domselaar.
Mallard in behind is going to be where the battle is. Because Reed did really well there, as you say, to win that foot race.
I don't think Mallard quite anticipated that ball was going to go through when it did. Yeah. If he times that run well, they're in trouble.
All about timing today. Because if Mallard goes and catches Catley or Reed flat-footed, if it's a good enough ball, then Mallard's in behind. And that is going to be a source of danger from an Arsenal point of view.
Phil, welcome to the stream. Jasmine as well, so it's going to be a draw no matter the scoreline. So siding with the 4% in chat who thinks this game will end even.
I expected more than 4%, I really did. Yeah.
Well, everyone wants to see a winner, don't they? They don't want to see this game end in a draw. They think if it is going to be a tight one, someone will edge it towards the end. But United with the best chance of the first few minutes. Arsenal now looking to settle on the ball. Here's McCabe. Opts to go down the line. One back in there by Bizet. She's got a tough job in her hands today to deal with Caitlin Ford.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me they've gone Ford on the left and Smith on the right.
Exactly what I was about to say.
The wrong way around for totally reasons.
Surely you target the right winger playing right back with your best winger.
Well, not only that, but Smith is better on the left wing because she wants to cut inside and get shots away. Ford's better on the right wing because she likes to attack the far post. And you put and what you want to do against a not natural fullback is put a winger who's going to want to take players on.
And then McCabe overlaps.
Yeah, and then McCabe overlaps, of course. And I think by playing Smith on that side, you get so much more out of Katie McCabe because she can attack with more freedom. Here's Fox. Back to Olivia Smith. And now Little will be forced all the way back to Van Donselaar.
It's got that kind of feeling, which was similar to a couple of Arsenal games, where a nip from the outset, as we're saying, Slagers gets it wrong and it catches them out and it hurts them. But in the second half, she gets it right and it completely turns the game around.
Ziggiotti into Mallard. Now back down the line looking for Julia Ziggiotti. Can she find a ball? Pass inside to Toon. Beats Katie Reid. Then has to cut it back looking for Mallard. Doesn't quite come off. Now Bizet now picks up the ball on the far side. Skips past one, and this is what you'll get from Bizet. Right back, a winger by trade. Ball into the box. And it's Kim Little who gets there. Probably should have been a better delivery by Ella Toon, who pulled wide there to be involved. And then Ford forcing Toon to be involved, and that's out for a throw.
Yeah, couple of weird decisions early on from Kirsty down in the middle. I mean, I felt that was a pretty obvious handball, that, as Toon swung the ball in. But, perhaps not given. Letting the game flow, which is kind of what we want to see in these big games. We don't want to see it stop-start and soft fouls being given, but it is going to lean itself to seeing some potentially big decisions.
Fox slips in behind looking for Smith. Doesn't quite come off.
I found it interesting as well that Arsenal won the toss and spun Man United round, because the end that is now behind Talis Joyce's goal is absolutely packed. It's a sold-out stand at the very, it's absolutely packed, that standing section, and United, as they usually do, would attack that first. But Arsenal choosing to spin them round, whether that has any different... Obviously, the sun as well is playing a factor in that decision. But
Soon into Rolfo, yeah. But potentially does. There's a lot of... can't think what the word is now.
Superstitions.
That's it, superstition in football. Here's Jess Park, lovely footwork, wants to take players on now, just probably should have looked right with Bizet overlapping. And now Arsenal will look to break. Here's Ford up against Maya Letitia. And she manages to skip past her, but she's forced backwards. As Letitia just slows her down, United recover back well. Here's Kim Little. Forced to Reid. Now back to Steph Catley. Here's Van Donselaar. Back out to Catley. And now Arsenal looks to come down the left-hand side. Lovely turn in there from Mariona Caldente. Ends up running off the pitch. Well, actually, she's kept it in well, according to the lino. Caitlin Ford looking to switch the play here. Wants to find Olivia Smith in behind, but there's not the space there. And that bounces out of play for a Manchester United goal kick.
Yeah, both sides have settled pretty quickly in this game. And are playing some good stuff. Against well worked down the left-hand side. It's a bit of an audacious switch, that.
Yeah, it would have been difficult to pull that off in this moment of the game.
Yeah.
But again, that is where you want Caitlin Ford, because Ford would look to make that run towards the back post and find that sort of opportunity.
Yeah.
Talis Joyce on the ball for United. And now Letitia. Back to Talis Joyce. And it's Letitia again. She tries to punch a pass through the Arsenal midfield. It's one back in there. Turned over quickly, though, by Ziggiotti, and it's back in possession of Manchester United. And Talis Joyce now will go back to Maya Letitia. I'm starting to get deja vu with that pass out. And now they'll look to go in behind. Misplaced, though, from Letitia. And out for an Arsenal throw-in.
A lot of the ball being in the air. I'm surprised. Obviously, I know United will be more looking for that out ball, which is over the top into Mallard. But
looks to me like they're just trying to stretch Arsenal a little bit, push that line further back early on. If they're concerned about United going in behind, I mean, you're already seeing Arsenal now seem to be dropping off a lot more.
Yeah.
And that could create space in midfield, where we have seen Arsenal pulled apart a little bit in there at times this season. Here is Olivia Smith. Wants to take on Sandberg. Good defending from the young fullback.
Exactly what you need to do against Olivia Smith. Stand her up, let her make a decision, and then dive in. We see a lot of fullbacks dive in straight away, and Smith just takes it round them. But Sandberg letting Smith make the decision and then reacting accordingly is good defending. Bit scrappy there. Arsenal doing well to keep it, actually.
Here is Caldente. Pass forward into Fox. Receives it well. Tries to slide it in behind. Wasn't really the room for that. And Letitia clears it away well.
Just need a bit of communication there, because I'm not sure who Fox played it to. But Letitia then didn't need to smash it out for a throat. Could have easily just ran back to Talis Joyce.
Yeah, just got it again. As you say, communication. Let her know. Here is Stina Blackstenius. Nice turn back across the box. Good clearance from Letitia. Zigiotioma can't get that away far enough, though. And here is Katie Reid. Now Emily Fox down the line looking for Blackstenius. And Janssen is assertive and physical. And it's almost like what we were saying all of last season. You put Janssen at centre back and you look so much more assured. That's great defending. Really good defending from Dominique Janssen. And prevents that attack. Here's Russo. Nice hold up. Back to Fox. Arsenal having all of the possession at the moment. But the question is, can they actually do anything with it? 84% of the ball in the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
They haven't really created chances. That's the thing.
I think United won't mind that unless Arsenal start knocking on the door. United are happy to let Arsenal have the ball. Not that much. They'd probably like a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, especially to start with. But Arsenal have done well. They've settled, which I think is the main thing. It's what they haven't done in their two opening games. They in both games they went a goal behind first before turning it around.
And both of those were in the first 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Those goals. They started really slowly. But
But they've done well today. They've settled down. They've got on the ball and they're just starting to get into a rhythm and play their football. Which for United, they've just got to be careful, because if Arsenal get too much more comfortable playing in United's own third, then that's probably going to lead to a goal for the away side. So United just need to get a bit of a foothold in this match.
Letitia out to the right-hand side. Here is Bizet. Tries to go back down the line. Not sure who she's seen there. Not sure why Caldente knocked it out of play. Lots of many very confusing things there.
Yeah, your decision-making at the moment from United is interesting. It just feels a bit rushed. I mentioned it there with Talis Joyce and Letitia not talking. That one from Bizet, she hasn't looked up. She's just sent it down the line. That's brilliant from Mallard, though.
Now they'll look to drive forward. Melvin Mallard looking dangerous, trying to find Toon. Great defending there from the recovering Olivia Smith, and Fox will bust a gut to try and keep it on the pitch. That's brilliant from Emily Fox. Somehow keeps that in touch. And now Reid. I thought that was going to be a composed ball over the top, but it was a poor execution of the pass, and it's cut out by Miyazawa. Here now is Letitia out to the right-hand side with Bizet holding the width. Can she make something happen here? The Norwegian winger playing at fullback today. Park beats one, shifts it to Bizet. Lovely from Jess Park. Swung into the penalty area. Van Domselaar spills it. Mallard with a chance. Toon with a chance. Block. Park again. What a save from Van Domselaar. And that should be 1-0 Manchester United, really. Great chances for Mallard, for Toon and for Park. And somehow Arsenal count their blessings as to how that's not in the back of the net. Oh. That's a big mistake from Van Domselaar. And she's got fortunate. She does well to recover and make the third save. But I feel like United should score that. They've got to do better.
Katie Reid, take a bow, blocks the Mallard effort, blocks the Toon effort.
Yeah.
And then saved by Van Domselaar. Van Domselaar can thank Katie Reid for that. That is incredible defending from the youngster. Brilliant. Body on the line defensive work, but Van Domselaar.
What is going on with Van Domselaar at the moment? Such a big mistake in the West Ham game, with the only time that anything was asked of her in that match. That's a big blunder there that could have seen them behind after just 12 minutes.
It's not like they're not catches where she's been under pressure. That one was a simple catch. She's got a defender in front of her. Mallard is a couple yards off her.
Yeah,
that's a simple catch and a let off for Arsenal. But that's how quickly the game can flip, because it's been one-way traffic, Arsenal on the ball, suddenly one cross into the penalty area, and it's absolute pandemonium in the Arsenal box.
But to be fair, I think that's United. This is the system United are designing, or the way United are designing this game to play out. And the Arsenal will push up too high, and United could then exploit the space. And it was in that transition that United were able to then break down the right-hand side. Here's Toon. Lovely give and go with Rolfo. Ball in behind. Mallard looked to time it well, but she's flagged offside. And she kicks it away. And I think she may end up with a yellow card for that. But I think she possibly gets away with it. But we'll have a look at the replay. I think she knew she'd gone too early. Yeah. Just times it wrong. It's Kim Little actually defending there. The transition. God knows why, but they got away with it. Catley down the line, can't find McCabe, and that is out of play. But Arsenal just struggling last 5 minutes. United coming into this game really should have found the opener.
Momentum's a massive tool in football because Arsenal were, it was controlled, it was well dictated, they were on the ball, they were getting into the game, and then United just United get one chance for a dropped Van Domselaar catch, and suddenly their tails are up.
Yeah, ball out to the right hand side. It's Blackstenius who gives chase, and now we'll use Emily Fox. Fox looking for a pass back into Reed. Now Catley. And it's out to the left-hand side. Here's Caldente. McCabe. And that's forward back to Caldente. I have to say, as great as McCabe is going forwards, if the sacrifice is that Caldente has to stand at left back, what are you gaining? And especially when McCabe is inverting rather than overlapping. Don't understand that from Arsenal. Here's Reed. Out now to the right-hand side. Fox. Back to Mariona Caldente. Here's Reed. Caldente. Here's Kim Little now. Slides through the lines and Fox is in space. Can she make something out? And ball across the box. Miyazawa deals with it. And a drop for Sandberg to clear it away.
It's like that was the perfect ball for the world-class number 9 that you should have up there.
Yeah. Rather
than Alessia Russo sitting in a 10. Honestly, I don't think Russo's touched the ball, really. But we knew that was going to happen. It stuns me every time we see Russo in the 10. It really does. Especially when Arsenal play a way that is built for her to be in the penalty area.
Ball down the line from Arsenal. Nice attack. Here's McKay. Park tracks the run well. Loses the ball. Now Park down the line. Tries to find Mallard. Great hold up from United's number 9. Now it's with Zigiotti. Letitia carries it forwards well. That's brilliant from Mallard to receive it and slot it in behind. There's a chance now for Ella Toon if she can get the right side of Reed. Great defending from the young centre half, who was able to recover quickly and prevent that. But that was another great chance. It all comes from Mallard dropping in, receiving it well on the half turn, turning into space and sliding it in behind.
What a 17 minutes. That's a foul throw. What a 17 minutes for Katie Reed. Been absolutely brilliant. Phenomenal.
Ball slipped in behind. Chance now for Smith. He'll put the ball across goal, but it's too close to Tullis Joyce. And she does really well there to make sure that ball doesn't slip out of her hands.
Yeah, good from Smith. Arsenal getting her involved. Little just sliding it through. This was
Such a good ball from Kim Little. Yeah, Smith probably should do better with it.
Right idea to fizz it across goal. Just needed to keep it away from the keeper.
Yeah, she's looking to go horizontal and she just goes diagonal.
Yeah.
And it goes too close. Here's Park. Does really well. Tries to play a pass out to the left-hand side. There's not enough on it and she's frustrated with herself there. She knows that has to be a better pass.
Final ball for United is what's letting down at the moment. Whether that's over the top and it's an Arsenal defender getting there first or just that killer ball that sets them free is just lacking at the moment.
But United, the thing is, United have got the structure.
That's a foul.
The question is, are the players going to step up today?
Yeah,
they're playing the better football. Fox looking to clip it in behind. It's Blackstenius, and again Jansen's assertive, and Blackstenius can't keep it in touch. That's just been a tough watch for Blackstenius so far because Jansen's bullying her.
And do you know who would put up a better challenge and hold the ball up properly? Alessia Russo. I'm really intrigued to see how many minutes it takes Slagers to work that one out.
But it's one of those where do you not want to save Blackstone's to running behind later in the game when United are potentially more tired and there may be more space in behind?
That's the thing. That's why I think that's the thing to differentiate. I'm not Blackstenius is very capable, but A, this isn't her kind of game at the moment, and B, it doesn't matter what your backup striker is. If you've got Alessia Russo, you stick her up front. She should be the first name on the team sheet.
Yeah, unless your backup striker is Khadija Shaw, in which case, where have you found the money?
Yes, I've got questions.
It's Olivia Smith-Lotwell by Sandberg.
But it just amazes me. And now, I don't want to keep going on about the game, but there's been 2 or 3 instances where I'm sat there thinking, if Russo was up front, then that chance would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Instead, she's the one arriving on the edge of the area. That's not where you want Alessia Russo.
Absolutely. That still to be said, though, Dominic Jansen's do phenomenally well, making life so difficult for Blackstones. Every time she picks up the ball, Jansen's on her back, and she's more physical. She's assertive with her defending.
We've seen some brilliant defending at both ends. Reed and Jansen especially have been absolutely superb for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Ball in from Ariona Caldente towards the front post. That's cleared away well by Letitia. Back to Ford. Here's Caldente. Wants to take on Park. Cuts inside. Chance now from Ariana Caldente on her less favoured foot. Gives it to Smith, who strikes it well. What a stop from Fallon Salas-Joyce. But someone's got to get out to Olivia Smith there. And
a goal kick's been given.
Somehow they've given a goal kick there. And maybe an invisible wall in the goal that struck it instead. Definitely a save.
I need to have a look at this. It just smashed the crossbar? No, it's a save.
That's definitely a save.
That is a phenomenal save. But it's been given a goal kick. Oh, dear.
There's Rolfo. Nice hold up. Back now to Dominique Janssen. Out to the right-hand side. Bizet. Great control. Now goes back to Letitia. They will lump it up the line. Might stay on the field, though.
This game might just end to 0-0 because of the defence, the defenders, and the goalkeepers.
Yeah. Well, unless Van Dossard's going to keep spilling it out to Melvin Mallard in the penalty area. Because there's only so many times a game you're going to get away with that. Once.
Yeah.
Ball down the line. Really good defending from Bizet there. Stepped up. Now it's Miyazawa. Back to Letitia. Carries the ball forwards out to the right-hand side. Lovely work from Toon. Back towards Zigiotti. It's interesting to see Toon and Park interchanging. Miyazawa. So it's a fluidity we have never seen a United attack have.
Yeah.
Before, Skinner loves structure. You know, the right back pushes up at this moment, and you all move in the right way. Everyone goes to these set positions, and then we'll attack from there. But instead, there's a lot of fluidity in how they want to progress the ball. That's a great pass from Miyazawa through the lines into Zigiotti. Now Toon. Back in the central area. Knocks out wide to Sandberg. Here's Rolfo in the pocket. Wants to go down the line. Now can cut inside for Alina Rolfo. Shrugs off Kim Little, but is forced backwards there to Letitia. Now Janssen.
United are so high. They are camped in Arsenal's half at the moment.
Yeah. Here's Bizet. Wants to take on Ford. Ford does well to get between Bizet and the ball. And now Arsenal could break. But Caldente will go backwards. But that's the thing. Why play Blacksenius if you turn the ball over and aren't going to go direct? That's the one reason you'd play her. That's poor from Van Domselaar. She looks all over the place at the moment. Receives the ball under pressure. Knocks it out of play.
More she's overcomplicating it as well. Like, just that pass didn't need to be lofted out to Fox. She could have knocked it 5 yards to her right and played it to Catley. Instead, she's trying to, under pressure, just loft it over the Man United press, and it's gone out.
There's Jess Park, composed on the ball, back to Letitia. Now shifts it across to Dominique Janssen. Sandberg, pass inside to Miyazawa. And now it's back to Janssen. Looking for the forward pass. It's Sandberg again. Now Tullis Choice. Gives it to Letitia. They will clip it in behind, and now United could break away. Bizet gets the wrong side of Catley. Can she make something happen? Tries to clip it into the box. Good defending. It's blocked well by Steph Catley. But again, Arsenal just seem to be opened up a little there. Good defending from the left centre half, Catley. McKay wasn't involved in the defending at all, and that's the problem. She wants to push up high, but what it could create today is there where you've got Bizet in behind, and that's the right back who's made that run. And there's so much space down that side. If they can exploit it effectively, they could get an overload on that side, Manchester United, when they break away.
I have to say, the Arsenal centre-halves are judging their strengths really well. Reed realises that she's better in the foot race than being physical, so she cuts the ball out immediately. Catley there realises she knows she's going to lose the foot race, but uses her experience to stand Bizet up and block the crossing coming.
No, it's a corner now for Manchester United. It's not a bad delivery. Flicked on in there. Van Domslaar punches at it fairly erratically, but she does well to get to the second ball. Get back out to it. And then rolls it short into Ford, I think that is. Now Catley.
Very even 25 minutes. It's what I predicted. That's why I think it's very, very difficult to separate the two sides.
Yeah, I think United, for what it's worth, have made much more of the ball than Arsenal have.
Yes,
I think the fact they've had 4 shots, 2 on target. Arsenal statistically yet to register a shot on target, but that's only because for some reason the Smith one was given as a goal kick, so it's given as a shot off target. But
that is brilliant from Olivia Smith.
Comes inside so well. Ford now clipping it in behind, looking to find the run of Fox. Sandberg tracks her well, knocks it out of play.
Sandberg, another player who has started very, very well. Has had a good season, to be fair. Again, it's another story of a player who came in as more of a rotation and a backup, wasn't given much of a go. When she did play, she didn't look incredibly comfortable. But this season, with George being out injured, with Blundell still not returning from pregnancy, I think it's been good to see Sandberg and Riviere shining as fullbacks, but especially Sandberg.
Yeah.
And again, defends well.
Well, Sandberg never really got an opportunity last season. Exactly. She missed the start of the season with an injury, and George came back and was so solid. It was difficult to bench her. But I think this season, with obviously it's sort of the exact opposite, where George is out injured, and so Sandberg's handed that opportunity to come into the side, and she just looked really solid. But yeah, I think it'll give United that confidence. They've got 2 good left backs now, and rotation isn't really an issue because they'll happily play either once they're both fit. And obviously, they've got a bit of a problem at right back at the moment. No idea when Blundell returns, but yeah. Goal kick now for United. That ball came into the box, headed wide by Stina Blackstenius. Yeah, this game has sped by. 27 minutes into this one already.
Like the corners today have really not been utilised.
It's all front post stuff, isn't it? Looking to get a little flick on. I mean, we saw City do it on Friday night with Viviana Miedemar, flicking it on at the front post.
I don't like it. Just smack it on the penalty spot. Find the big player.
Yeah.
Especially against other top sides, because like there, Black Sands has made the run, and she's trying to compete at the front post with Marla Tissier. She's not going to win that. Instead, put it in the penalty area and either get one of your tallest players to head it in, or you might get a knockdown or something that falls to someone and you get an opportunity.
Well, City, I'm guessing, can't wait till Rebecca Nack is back, and then they basically just get a goal every corner. They put it in the box and Nack just heads it in.
Yeah, that is a joke.
She's gonna. Well, if she can stay fit for a season, she will get double digits.
Yeah.
Because who can prevent it happening?
I mean, she scored, didn't she? She scored like 8 in the was it the Elite Syrian?
No, in the
can't remember what it's called now.
Damsel Veskin.
That's the one. But yeah, and just because she'd just stand there at a corner and the ball would just fall on her head, she'd just knock it in.
She scored 4 in 8 appearances for Man City last season. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no other team seems to have that absolute air of superiority.
I say Arsenal. I'm trying to think. Arsenal, Russo's a brilliant. The heading she's added to her game has been incredible. But apart from that,
but it tends to be more of a movement, of the movement to then get onto a cross rather than competing aerially.
True.
It's Caldente. Ball out now to Emily Fox. Slides it down the line, and Blacksenius will get there. And Janssen again on her back. Doesn't want to let her turn in there. Really good defending from Dominique Janssen. And Blacksenius trying to play the pass back to Fox. Toon wins it though, and she pokes it forward. Here's Mallard, slides it across to Ziggiotti, and they can come forwards now. Park on the right-hand side for United. Surveys her options as she drives the ball forward. Rides the challenger forward well. Here's Ziggiotti. Tries to take on McCabe. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That was
it's a foul.
a weird one. I didn't see it was that came across there, but they just backed into Ziggiotti.
I think it was Reed.
Yeah, it was Katie Reid. Just came across.
It's unnecessary from Ziggiotti because Reed's not going to get the ball. She doesn't need to put her back there.
I'm not sure how much she does pull her back. Reid does well.
I think
It's good defending. She gets in her way, but
the falling over bit was unnecessary. The foul already happened by that point.
yeah. Ball sent forwards by McCabe. Cut out in there by Miyazawa. And now United will settle on possession. Bizet. That's the thing, I know obviously there's a lot of fans who want to see Miyazawa in a higher position, but when you see how well she just cuts the ball out, how well she reads the game in there,
It's weird seeing.
how could she?
Weird seeing the deepest though of all the United midfielders. I know it's very fluid and they've all been kind of chopping and changing, but you know, Ziggiotti's one that's been one of the highest at times.
Yeah, again, you've got that interchangeability. I think both are great going forwards.
Yeah.
I guess it's happened to be Ziggiotti more so far. Also a bit like at Man City, where Laura Blinkett-Brown's found herself as the deepest line midfielder.
True.
Where they're just very technically gifted, good at retaining the ball under pressure. Pass back now to Tullis Joyce. Letitia. Now Sandberg. Toon. Miyazawa. Sandberg. Back now to Tullis Joyce. And it's Sandberg again. Pass down the line. Toon tries to win it, but Fox pounces. Man retrieves possession. Here's Smith. Pokes inside to Little, who try and make something happen. Now Kim Little. Sandberg and Toon have ran into each other there. That's unfortunate. And now play will be paused to allow medics to come on and deal with the two injured players. But it's a difficult situation there because United have got two less players, but equally they've taken each other out.
Well, I thought it was two separate incidents. I thought Fox ran Toon into the ground and then Smith ran Sandberg into the ground.
Because they're both down.
Two separate incidents. Sandberg gets caught there, or Smith just kind of just stopped. It's an unlucky one, and then Toon just got caught by Fox as she ran away, and they both just got caught in two separate incidents. But they both just rolled around together. I think it's more winded for Sandberg. Toon's absolutely fine. But yeah,
and both teams will use this as a mini stoppage break, a chance to get some tactical information on board after half an hour. We'll use it to discuss the first 30 minutes. If you're watching along, get your thoughts in the live chat. How do you think the game has started? Poll in chat has not shifted much. 66% Arsenal, 29% Manchester United, 5% draw. People ask why we're stopping games for non-head injuries now. Yeah, it's a weird one. But to be fair, I think the phase of play it moves phase of play because Arsenal go backwards. But they still had the ball. They still had a chance to make something happen. And they had an advantage because two United players were on the deck. I think you could have made an argument there's a foul in there. It's not. It's difficult because they're both sort of just two players holding on to each other, and the United player on both counts came out worse.
Just watching back that Tullis Joyce save to deny Smith is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason that she was a joint Golden Glove winner because that is a phenomenal save.
It's the best save I've ever seen that won't count. As
a
save.
Yeah, very true.
For some reason.
Well, Arsenal will get the ball back where they had it. United will start with one less as Sandberg has to go off. But this helps Man United now because what really can Arsenal do with this, and then they've had to go backwards because of it.
Little into Catley. I've still got the pitch tilt and the territory.
Yes.
Reed into Catley. Pass down the line. Finds McCabe, who swings a delivery into the box, and it's Sandberg who meets it and gets it clear. Here's Toon. Touched it down to Park. Wriggles our way through the Arsenal midfield. And now a pass out to Fridolin Rolfo, who adjusts well and now goes back to Janssen. Under pressure. Goes all the way back to Tullis Joyce. And Zigiotti trying to play out a little too quickly there. Makes the mistake. Recovers it nicely. And now Little out to Caldente. It's fizzed at her, but it's falls out to McCabe. Now Ford in the final third. Seen back by Letitia. And Arsenal going forwards now. Caldente poking the ball into the penalty area. Here's Smith trying to bring it under her control and get a shot away. It's really good defending from Sandberg, who just stands her up.
Yeah, Arsenal starting to really work themselves into the ascendancy here. They're getting on top and causing United issues, and United just seem to be getting deeper and deeper. It's a really good spell, though, from the Gunners. They've got to make sure that United don't spring out in transition and catch them out, and obviously make this possession and make this good move count.
So ball into the penalty area. It bounces around in there and it's come off. An Arsenal player and out for United goal kick.
Put it in the danger zone. That's where you got to put it, though. Hang it towards the back post where all the bodies are. And I'm surprised no one in a white shirt has made contact with this. The ball just lands and dribbles out. United see it out. Should it have been a corner? Absolutely. 100% a corner. I don't get it. It's come off Reed's head and then gone towards the goal, gone off Rolfo's foot and trickled out. But goal kick was given. Arsenal back on the ball, though, immediately. So United didn't get very far with that.
Smith pokes it into Blackstenius, one back by Sandberg. And she'll see it out well for a goal kick.
Yeah, really well defended. A little bit of afters there between Sandberg and Smith, but really good defending from United's fullback.
Yeah.
Important moments now in the game. 9 minutes till half time. A goal now for either side would be huge. And I think especially with Arsenal being the ones who are probably in control at the moment, I think they will. Obviously, you want to get a goal while you're on top because it usually goes in football that if you don't score while you're on top, you do get punished for it later on.
McCabe down the line, cleared away by Zigiotti. And now they look to come forwards. United cut out by Reed. Here's Catley. Lifts it out to the left-hand side. And Ford does well to win it back. And now they'll look to play forwards. Arsenal. Little. Shrugged off the ball by Rolfo, but it falls for Russo, whose pass isn't good enough.
Oh, you can't pull that back.
How has she decided that? That's so awful from Dowie.
Arsenal giving
the advantage.
Yeah.
It's just a terrible pass from Russo.
Yeah. You can't pull that back.
Not at her finest.
No, it's something about Kirsty Dowell and this football ground.
Just
I don't know what it is.
Decisions. Ball into the box from Mariana Caldente. Chance now for Blackstenius. It bounces all the way through. No one makes contact with it.
Who would have headed that ball towards the goal? It would have been Alessia Russo. I really hope, for the love of everything that exists in the world, that at half-time, Renee Slager puts Russo up front. Because, oh my, what a ball that is from Caldente.
And Blackstenius, just can't quite meet it, misjudges it slightly.
So frustrating.
And no one else really reacts to it. United would have let that go in if it was on target. Well, looks ball forward. Trying to get the flick on in there. Rolfo falls for Kim Little. Now it's back to Van Domselaar. Here's Catley. Ball down the line. And Letitia wins it back and Blackstenius brings her down. And she can have no complaints about that one. He says Russo should 100% be up front. Oh, yeah. The mystery as to why she isn't, really. Just no logical explanation for it.
Imagine other teams did that with the best players in the world. Lauren James is just, I don't know, playing in the pivot or left back or something. You don't take the best players in the world out of their main positions.
But Caldente is playing defensive midfield and Alessia Russo is playing attack midfield. It's weird as well because if it was a case like Bizet playing at right back today, where she's not in a natural position, but for the balance of the side and for the structure they're playing, it works, then that's fine. But I think both of the changes but both of those high-profile examples are examples of players where it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Really. Like, it worsens them as a side. Here's Olivia Smith. Wants to come forward for Arsenal. Ball down the line into Fox. Now Caldente dinking it in behind. And Ziggiotti does so well there. Shrugs off Fox. Fox will complain, but I'm not sure what she can complain about. That she's not as strong as her opposing player. That's brilliant from Ziggiotti. Uses her strength. Shrugs her off.
Nothing wrong with that. I think frustration is growing. I think across the board, to be honest. Both benches, both teams as well, because on one hand, United, I know they also their plan is to be good out of possession and then try and hit Arsenal on the counter, but I think they'd like to have a little bit more joy with turning the ball over. And as for Arsenal, they had all the possession, but not a shot.
Yeah, United last 10 haven't been able to get forwards in the way they were earlier on. They are now going to try and move the ball forwards with Sandberg forced backwards.
They're not doing enough when they do get the ball.
Janssen tries to step past Blacksenius. Blacksenius pass it back to Russo. Chance now for Arsenal. Shot on goal. Save well and then gathered by Tallis Joyce. But what was Janssen trying to do there? Drive the ball past the striker.
Really messy and got away with one good from Blacksenius, and then Russo's bursting in and does well to get a shot off. Ziggiotti followed her all the way. Well claimed, though, by Tallis Joyce. Yeah, I think either side would rather... both sides would like to be in a better position than they are at the moment.
Great touch from Elvie Mallard. Brings that down with snow on it. And now plays it inside, and Toon can't keep it under her control. And here come Arsenal. Russo. Back to Reed. Now Fox. Now here's Mariona Caldente. Pokes that pass forwards. McCabe, who inverted, can't do anything with it. Sandberg. Letitia. Bizet. Looks to go up the line. Instead inside to Ziggiotti. Pass down the line. It's cut out. And now Arsenal back in possession. So it's the left-hand side. Here's Ford. Wants to take on Bizet. Beats her well. Pass inside. And Blacksenius can't turn it goalwards. Pushing it away. And then Sandberg sends it up the line. Here's Reed. Wants to get things moving quickly. Back into the feet of Fox. Who spins. Wants to take on Rolfo. And again, forced backwards. Here's Katie Reed. Now it's Smith, and Rolfo will look to recover. Smith inside towards the run of Emily Fox. Dealt with by Ziggiotti. And now it's Park up against Smith. Brilliantly strong from Jess Park, who's now under pressure. Goes to Rolfo. Smith went in a little wildly there. And that's run back well by Ziggiotti. Lovely give and go in midfield. Here's Ziggiotti under pressure. Back to Janssen. Lifts it out to the right-hand side. Here's Bizet, and finally, for the first time in about 10 minutes, United looking to make the pitch wide, trying to go to Miyazawa, who competes well for it, but it's good defending. Good recovery in there from Catley. Now back to Van Domslo. He's made a bit of a mess of that. It's just rebounding around at the moment. It's not watching a game of pinball.
Yeah, it's unsettled and it's getting a little bit aggressive.
Rousseau. Yeah, it's starting to become a bit of a charge to this game. Ford now on this left-hand side. Wants to take on Bizet. Goes back to Kim Little. Wants to lift it towards the back post. And Smith heads wide. Not really the area where she's most dangerous there, Olivia Smith.
No, it's a shame that we're getting so close to the half-time break because this game just seems to be sparking into life almost. Not necessarily in front of goal, but both sides are really getting stuck into it now. Seeing a few challenges flying in and a lot of complaints coming from both sides. But it is becoming that kind of game because we're not seeing the quality in front of goal.
Well, forward from Talent's choice. Well, United are struggling to progress it now. Arsenal doing well. Just to limit those options. 2 to Janssen. Talent's choice back to Janssen. Carries the ball forward well. Now goes up the line into Ella2. That's blocked by Smith and out for a throw. And BBC are back to paying to the crowd rather than showing us the game of football. Toon is Rolfo. Tries to find Toon in the pocket. That's a great pass. Toon just doesn't quite get there. Gave up on that and for a moment and had to sprint after it again. 2 minutes of additional time in this first half. Flicked on by Olivia Smith there as Arsenal try and play forward. Janssen pings it up the other way. Little heads it down. Park and Ziggiotti miscommunicate and it's Cadente who comes out the winner. Bizet then receives it, launches it forwards and Little brings it down. Here's Fox under pressure. Comes inside, now Little. And it's Catley down the line. Here's McCabe. Now Ford. Lovely give and go in there with Caldente. Caitlin Ford coming inside. Can take aim and it's wide. Thought she might be able to find the back of the net from that range. Caitlin Ford. I'll tell you who would have. Olivia Smith, but that was good from Ford. Bizet just lost track of her. And just wide of the mark. Has to hit the target there for me.
Yeah, defenders backing off and travelling backwards.
You've got to make Tallis Joyce answer a question, and she just puts it off target.
No one got near her. Everyone from United just ran away from it. She had so much time to use.
On by Rolfo. Here is Ella Toon. Back to Fridolina Rolfo. Give and go down the left-hand side. Here's Toon. Needs the support. Pass inside. Falls to Rolfo. Gives it back to Toon. Can she find a pass through the lines? It's cut out there by Fox. Now Little hooks it away. And that will likely be the end of the half. Janssen heading it out. That's out for an Arsenal throw-in. And that is the half-time. We're soon at the League Sports Village. It's Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0 at half-time. Chances at both ends with Van Domselaar's spilled cross. Almost seeing United open the scoring early on. But it was Olivia Smith who had the most dangerous effort of the first half, tipped over the bar by Tallis Joyce. But a very even first 45 minutes. United started stronger, but Arsenal grew into the game and United struggled to move the ball forwards in the last 15 minutes of the half. Ultimately, though, neither side able to find a goal at the break. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, neither side really doing what they need to be doing in front of goal. Arsenal having all of the ball but not working any great opportunities. United probably would have liked to have been able to get out more and try and cause more problems for the Arsenal backline. Any problems they did try and cause were snuffed out very quickly and very easily by the likes of Katie Reid, who played very, very well in that first 45 minutes. But
it was that break on about 32 minutes where this game momentum really moved towards Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they just seemed to they stopped letting United through so easily. I think they became a little less fluid. Arsenal. McCabe moved back to left back and wasn't inverting quite as much. And we saw Caldente allowed to get forward a bit more. We saw Ford actually playing on the left wing. I think they looked better in that last 13 minutes where they just seemed to simplify things a little. And yeah, United were struggling then to play out from that point. But United definitely started faster. That first chance, that ball over the top into Mallard, I think was a real sign of things to come.
Yeah, very much so. And we thought that was going to set the tone for the game. It was a great ball and it just showed that Arsenal just got caught a bit there, and United was switched on from the get-go, and Mallard has looked sharp whenever she's got involved, whether whether it's running in behind or some good footwork deeper in the pitch. Mallard has looked really sharp, and if they can get her more opportunities, then you expect her to take one, because she's had a couple, and to be honest, I don't think there's much more she could have done with them. As you say, that first one brought a good save out of Van Domselaar.
A little bit too wide, wasn't she, when she received that ball, Mallard? It was a difficult one.
Yeah, and it was well defended. I thought, Catley did well to shovel her out wide. But yeah, it's just been a couple, and I think that United would like to do more. But what it has shown is that when they are getting Mallard on the ball, she is looking dangerous, and we know she's in very, very good form. So if they can get her a better opportunity, a more clear-cut opportunity, then there's a very good chance that Mallard could punish the away side.
Yeah, definitely. Mallard had another great opportunity. United broke really well down the right-hand side. A nice combination between Toon and Bizet. They've linked up really nicely. Ball went into the box. Van Domselaar had an absolute mess of it. Another mistake for Van Domselaar. Concerning?
It's one of those. It's a really, really weird one. I think it's more just it can happen. You make one error and then you start overthinking the simple things, because this was a simple catch. The mistake against West Ham, conditions, rain, wind. It's a lofted ball, and yes, in the end it was unfortunate the way it rebounded off the post. But this one was a simple catch under no pressure. She dives down to get it. She's got her defender in front of her. There's no United players that are like running in on her or charging after her. It's a simple catch really, and she just drops it, and it falls to Mallard. It's a brilliant block from Reed. Falls back to Toon. It's another brilliant block from Reed.
I think the Toon effort's actually blocked by Mallard, who jumps in, who just seems to can't get out of the way really. Yeah. Then it falls to Park, and that's a good stop from Van Domselaar, who was still recovering after dropping the ball. But yeah, United definitely had the better chance in that first half. 4 shots, 3 on target, 1 big chance there. So probably from that passage deserved to be in the lead. From there, Arsenal definitely strangled back some control in the game. It was Olivia Smith's shot, tipped over the bar, albeit Kirsty Dowell thinking that it wasn't, that it came off the crossbar instead. But it shows the quality of Olivia Smith when she can get the ball in those central areas. Yeah,
absolutely. Cut inside, and no one really got near her, and it's a really, really good strike.
It came from the corner, didn't it? Where it was knocked back out to her. And yeah, no one from United reacted to that, given way too much time and space, and could have had a very good goal.
It's a great effort, and against most other goalkeepers that goes in. It's a shame for her and Arsenal that it was Valentine's Joyce stood in the net, and it's a phenomenal save. It's absolutely brilliant. But Arsenal have done well to get Smith involved. I just think it's the end product now that needs to be there, because Smith has looked sharp and has played well. But we haven't. Again, is it that she needs to work better opportunities, or Arsenal needs to get her into better places? But just on the whole, they've got to start doing more. Arsenal.
Well, Smith doesn't have as much of a. She's not as dangerous in front of goal on the right wing as she is on the left, especially with how Arsenal are looking to play. If you're going to get her in behind, she can run across the defender and then strike across goal. That's fine, but you're never going to get that. So playing on the left wing where she can cut inside and get shots away, she'll be so much more dangerous on that right foot. And I think forward, again, as I've said, with McCabe delivering balls from the left-hand side, making those runs towards the back post is so much more dangerous. There was one where Calvin Tay put a ball towards the back post, and Smith just doesn't react, doesn't quite get there, and it falls to nothing. They're just not getting the best out of either player. It just doesn't make any sense. I really don't get it. There was that moment where Ford darts inside, looks to get a shot away, and it was a fairly tame effort. And I think if that was Olivia Smith, went wide of the mark, that's Olivia Smith. I think that's a very difficult one for Valentine's Joyce to save. But Arsenal definitely stepped it up after that momentary pause. United, though, haven't had a shot since the 13th minute. That will be a concern. They did start to come forwards a bit right at the end of the half. But, I think they'll be concerned about that shift. I think, Arsenal will now have to react to however United respond. United will have to do something different from now, you'd expect.
Yeah, they have to. But it's a difficult one because for United to weigh up, because from a United point of view, from what when they look at it from what they've been doing, absolutely, as you say, not been getting forward enough, not been threatening at all, and Arsenal are enjoying it. But Arsenal aren't doing enough to scare Man United at the moment. Yes, Arsenal have had the majority. The last 10, 15 minutes they had a lot of the ball and they were constantly recycling it and putting United under pressure. But they haven't had enough chances.
One shot on target.
Threaten. Yeah, that's not good enough.
One shot on target from 6, 0.35 xG from those 6 shots, whereas United 0.64 xG. I think United are a very good defensive side. It's difficult to create good chances against them, but yeah, I just don't think Arsenal have been able to create great chances. The fact their only shot on target was that Alessia Russo chance that came from Janssen making a mistake. I think that still shows a lack of an ability to create chances for Arsenal. So yeah, that will be a slight concern. David and Shadow talking about Elizabeth Turland. I think it's a shame the Brann game was when it was, because I think if Turland started today, this would be 1-0 United by now.
Potentially.
I think she would have taken one of those 2 opportunities that Mallard has had. But yeah, I think Mallard's in great form, but Turland's just a better goal scorer, a more elite number 9.
Yeah, and Mallard is in very, very good form, but that's very, very good form off the left. And obviously she has played through the middle at times in the games when they have taken certain players off and stuff, but we've also seen her shine from the left-hand side. So
she was great through the middle against London City Lionesses, where their centre-backs approach to defending is to close their eyes and hope.
Yeah.
So, Mallard was great off the left-hand side in the opener against Leicester.
And you take Rolfo off, who I don't think's touched the football.
No, Rolfo's done okay, I think. I don't think Rolfo's had a bad game.
I don't think I've seen her.
She's been involved lightly. I think more of the play's been down the right-hand side. Rolfo serves a function because she's holding the width nicely. And there were moments where they tried to combine, but I think the understanding between her and Sandberg, understandably, isn't really there. Whereas Toon and Bees, they've played with each other for a while, and Jess Park, who's played internationally with Toon, there's a real understanding between that group of players. Whereas between Rolfo and Sandberg, it's 2 players. It's not really clicking at the moment.
Yeah.
So the ball has been on that side. It just hasn't really. Nothing's really happened when it goes to that side. So yeah, I understand your point, but I don't think Rolfo's been bad. I just don't think she's been involved. I think the other thing you get from Fridley and Rolfo is increased defensive output. She was really good at tracking runs there, especially of Ford potentially, but also of Emily Fox, of tracking that run, getting back in, and stopping that overload on that right hand side for Arsenal being very dangerous. So yeah. What else to discuss? Cam says I would go Russo in the 9, Marnham and Kelly on the right wing. Disagree on Kelly at the moment. I just swap Ford and Smith. I would get Frida Marnham on though and put Russo up front because I think much better forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many more times I can say it. I just don't understand how you can take Alessia Russo and put her in the 10. She's not a number 10. She's an incredible goal scorer, a brilliant number 9. I'm really intrigued to see how long it's going to take for that to happen, because if that doesn't happen at half time, Arsenal are going to keep struggling. And it's one of those where if they don't create a big chance in this game, they're either going to rely on United making an error, an absolute worldie of a goal, or they're not going to score and you're not going to win the football game. Arsenal have got to find a way to create a big chance in this match. They've got to be better with the ball. They haven't done enough with it. And as I said earlier, if they don't use the ball while they've got it, Man United are one of the perfect sides at punishing you when they turn it over. And if they're not careful, Skinner will change things. We know Mark Skinner. He will make a difference. He'll try and mix things up. He'll try and make something happen. And if Arsenal don't react to that, then United will win this football match. So Slagers, for me, has got to make changes at half-time. Put Russo up front, please. I can't watch another 45 minutes of Alessia Russo playing as a number 10. It stuns me every time I see it. It makes no sense. It doesn't serve a purpose at all, apart from playing Blackstenius, who is being bullied by Janssen at the moment. So it's important that Slagers reacts now. Not only reacts to changes of Skinner, but get ahead of it. If you make changes at half time, you get in there before Skinner's changes can take effect, because Mark Skinner will make differences and United will come back out in the second half and try and have more joy, because not having a shot since the 13th minute is not good enough as well. It's got all the signs of a 0-0 right now, and that is really worrying. So I'm hoping that both sides are going to butt their ideas up a little bit and see what happens. I think, though, it will kick into life. I think towards the end of the half there, things did really start to heat up a little bit. Not necessarily in front of goal, but just in terms of it became a little bit more fiery. Players were getting frustrated. People were really starting. It had a little bit of an edge to it, and that's what we want to see from these kind of matches. And it's a kind of game that could really spark into life and make the referee busy if both sides are going to keep at it with this aggressive nature.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a very interesting game. I think it's been a fascinating tactical battle. It'll be interesting to see where it goes now. How do Arsenal respond? How do United respond? I think the question around United is how they started to struggle for control at the end of that first half. How do they get back into the game a little bit? As for Arsenal, it's how do they start to create some good chances, because they haven't yet. And so I think that will be a concern. Phil says, we'll create when we get Kelly or Mead on. Smith and Ford are goal scorers rather than creators. But I think you don't need the winger to create chances. You need them to score some goals. Where are the goals coming from at the moment? Because the best goal scorers at player number 10, I just don't see where the goals come from. You get creativity from Mariona Caldente,
Who's sat in a pivot,
who's playing defensive midfield, but she can still create from there. From Katie McCabe, who would be able to get higher if you have someone on the left-hand side like Smith, who's going to come inside, and Fox, who again has also been stunted on that right-hand side because she's not linking up particularly well at the moment with Olivia Smith.
Yeah.
Whereas I think last season we saw her link up really nicely with Ford. So I think you can get creativity. I also think Ford is a fine creator. But yeah, I just think Arsenal's fixes are pretty simple. Stop playing your best striker in attack midfield and swap the wingers so they're on their favoured sides.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that complicated to me. I don't see the thinking for Slagers really, but
because she's put the right people out there, just in all the wrong roles. Because if you move Russo up and swap the wingers, and then you take Blacksenius out, that is perfect. That is a very, very good team. So it's just a mess. I don't understand. It was not a mess, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm really hoping that we're going to get to half time and we're going to see that Alessia Russo's back up front where she should be, and Arsenal are going to come out and actually create some opportunities. Because then, if Arsenal come out, create chances, and then score a goal, it then puts all the pressure back onto Man United to then come out and do something. So yeah, that's the way I look at it. Is that we need this game what it needs is a goal. Once you get a goal in this football match, it will spark into life. Because then the other team, the losing team has to go for it, and then you get a really good end-to-end match. So this game, it just needs a goal or a big decision, a red card, or something to happen, a penalty that is just going to spark this game into life. Because it was getting there as the half went on, it heated up a little bit, but now in the second half, it just needs something to get it going again.
Yeah, bit more fight.
Yeah,
in the game, something to ignite it. It started to get a little bit feisty in that towards the end of that first half. But yeah, Arsenal need a cutting edge, and United need the final ball. So yeah, could get very interesting to see which of those actually happens.
Both sides are out onto the pitch in the corners. I don't know why we're still talking with the pundits, because we can see on the screen on behind them the players are back out on the pitch. I'm just trying to see if there's any changes potentially. I can't. Okay, is that still Blacksenius up front? Oh, we're now doing a half-time interview. The game's at the kick-off.
I'd love to know what Slaggers are saying, though. I'm intrigued now. Unfortunately, we can't hear it. If anyone's watching the BBC coverage and can let us know what Renee Slaggers is saying, please let us know, because I'm intrigued what her thoughts are.
If I was a presenter, I'd go, right, first question, why is Alessia Russo not playing up front? That is still Steen Blacksenius up front.
Yeah, I say it's leads the line. I don't think there's changes for either side after that first half. And it will be Blacksenius from the middle to get us back underway here at the Leeds Sports Village. Blacksenius waiting for the referee's whistle, which is going to take a moment because we're still waiting for people to get into positions. But then we can get back underway. Still 0-0, but everything to play for in this game. Not sure now what we're waiting for. And Kirsty Dowd is just pointing around at things.
Better not be ball boys again.
But eventually, we might actually get some second half action here. Referee blows a whistle. Blacksenius knocks it back. We're back underway here at the Leeds Sports Village. It's Arsenal on the ball. Man United 0, Arsenal 0 with 45 minutes left to play in this game. Reed plays it down the line, was caught in possession, and a pass is intercepted. Pass forward, down the line into Rolfo. Rolfo now. Mallard and Toon have got to communicate there. Toon brings under our control. Mallard's just in her way. Neither of them really communicate. Fox plays it forward. Header one by Dominic Janssen. Drops in there for Rolfo. And now Sandberg. Back now to Dominic Janssen, who will lift it in behind, looking for the run of Mallard, who will come across here and try and compete with Reed. Mallard does so well there to win it back. Reed, though, gets in between her and the ball. It's good work from Reed, and she draws the foul. I think that's a little bit fortunate. I don't think Mallard did anything particularly wrong there. Both players were going for the ball.
Yeah, as well as didn't he be given. It was good.
If it goes on and then Mallard commits the foul, which it looked like she may have, then fine, but let that play out.
Good hassling from Mallard, even better defending from Reed. The defender's done her job there. It didn't need to be given that. But again, Katie Reed, absolutely brilliant. Just been so good one-on-one defending. It's kind of preventing Mallard from being any more dangerous.
Yeah, and now Ford on this left-hand side wants to take on Bizet. Bizet stands her up well. Now Ford going towards the byline, ball into the box. It's a cutback towards Kim Little, who just doesn't want to shoot for some reason. Back to Russo. Now out to Ford. Look, Little just got hit that.
Yeah.
She had space on the edge of the box. She decided to take too many touches. Back out to McCabe. Finds Ford in the pocket. Letitia coming across, and that's excellent defending from Letitia. Does really well there. Now Steph Catley. Pass through the lines. Is intercepted. Is Mallard under pressure and trying to play out with an orthodox pass forward that's cut out. Now United do regain possession though. Miyazawa wanted to play that environment. You could see where she was looking for the run of Jess Park. Space never really opened up for her to play the pass. And Letitia lumps it forward, flicked on by Ziggiotti. Catley now heads it back the other way. Ziggiotti with an important challenge, and it drops for Steph Catley under pressure from Melvin Mallard. And Park gets in front of it and knocks it out of play.
Well, Arsenal picking up where they left off in the first half, getting on the ball and coming at Man United. It's up to United again, as we said, to get into this game, get a foothold in the match and try and cause Arsenal some problems.
Here is Catley.
No, that's a poor pass.
Yeah.
Really sloppy. And that's what Arsenal don't need, to be wasteful with the ball now.
Definitely.
It's becoming the kind of game where it's going to be defined by one moment. So whoever you are, you've got to make sure you're on the right side of that moment.
Here's Reed. Pass through the lines and Little was dispossessed. Mallard shifts it onto Park, who now pokes it out to Dominic Janssen. Forward pass doesn't come off. And that's back with the Arsenal back line. Fox. Here's Catley. Shifts it to Reed. And now Smith bursts past Sandberg. It's forced them to go back. Sandberg does really well actually to keep up with her. And it's one high here by Manchester United, and it's Melvin Mallard on the ball. Turned over quickly. Mallard bearing in on goal. Catley stands her up. Wow, it's great defending from Steph Catley. Just a stand-up Mallard and makes the intervention at the most important time. That's excellent defending from Catley.
Superb. Does so well. Sticks with her the whole way. Again, sloppy.
It was sloppy initially from Catley.
Yeah.
But she does so hard to recover.
Yeah. Does really well. Again, doesn't dive in, doesn't commit. Just works out which way Mallard's going to go. And then as Mallard shapes the shoot, dives in, gets the tackle spot on.
Yeah.
Really good defending.
Excellent from Steph Catley, and it's out now from Manchester United. Corner, and they've finally registered a shot again in this game, United. And now they've got a corner to try and make life difficult for the Gunners. A lot of movement in the penalty area. It's in towards the back post. It's still bouncing around in there. Here's two. Now Bizet takes it in her stride nicely. Wants to take on Ford. Looks to beat Caitlin Ford, who stands her up well. And now trying to see it out for a corner and does so. And Bizet not best pleased with the physicality Ford used there.
Felt unnecessary there from Bizet. I'm not really sure why she needed to take Ford on. She could have crossed it in from where she was.
Just want a bit more space, I guess, for the cross.
Yeah.
But...
Decision making again, I think from United today is just with that final pass.
Van Domselaar, one back in there by Ziggiotti. She's brought down in there by Ford, but it's not deemed a foul. Caldente, I think that's a little fortunate for Caitlin Ford. Caldente bursts forward nicely. Now out to the left-hand side, but that's a poor ball. Everyone looked across like someone was going to magically appear there. I thought that was going to be a footballer, but alas, no such footballer was there. Up in the stands, that is Millie Turner and Leah Gelton. Just trying to work out who the other person was. In case they were a player, but they're not, I don't think.
No.
United haven't got a new signing they're not telling anyone about.
Imagine they did and it got leaked because she was sat on a balcony with Millie Turner and Leah Gelton.
Here's Fox. Here's Katie Reid. Poked forwards into Caldente, back round the corner into Fox. And now down the line, it's Stina Blackstenius, well held up by Blackstenius. Back to Caldente, here's Fox. Can make something happen from here. Back to Mariona Caldente, who tries to take on Rolfo, and that's seen out well by Fridolina Rolfo.
Good defendant. United have done well. They're not completely under the pump now. First 5 minutes, they've just as I said, they've got a foothold. Exactly what they need to do. Just get themselves on the ball. Now they need to start making things happen.
Yeah.
All the Arsenal fans are throwing scarves around in the air. What is going on there?
Not sure.
Celebrating a goal kick, maybe.
Here's Park, can't quite get there. Knocked out of play well by Caldente. And now it's United throw-in is Bizet. And it's a throw down the line. Flicked on in there by Mallard. One back by Toon. Now here's Reid. Smith. Ball out wide for Fox. Cuts inside. Now it's a pass back to Reid. Hopefully give and go. Kim Little now.
Oh. Brilliant defending that from Ziggiotti. Does so well just to nip in there and halt the Arsenal attack.
That's a great try from Olivia Smith. Couldn't quite find the forward pass though. And now United, they look like they might try and come forward. Miyazawa wasn't out with the forward options. Goes back to Talis Joyce. Letizia under pressure. Does well. And now it's with Celine Vise. Pass into Park, who holds it up. Back to Letizia. And now it's with Janssen. Down the line, doesn't come off from Sandberg. It comes off Smith, and it's out of play for a throw.
Needs changes. This game really needs changes.
Yeah, someone to ignite something. Start a fire. Let off some fireworks or something.
I mean, I'm not sure how we didn't see any changes at half time. But I'm still watching Leslie Russo play as a 10.
Yeah.
And United just seem to be lacking a bit of fire.
Ball over the top. Mallard bearing it down. Reid knocks it back to her goalkeeper well. And Toon will put her under pressure. And now Little. Fox clips it in behind. Stina Blackstenius has judged the line well. Letizia, though, excellent defensively. Just such a good defender. Just reads the game so well. She sees what Blackstenius is going to try and do. She comes across. She's strong and she's authoritative. And she just deals completely with the threat posed by Blackstenius.
Yeah.
Great defending.
If you're a young defender, just watch this football match. Because it has been a brilliant example of how to defend in every situation. all 4 centre halves on the football pitch have been absolutely brilliant today. And it's part of the reason why this game is still 0-0 after 55 minutes.
Yeah, completely agree. It's just been a masterclass, really, in how to defend as a centre-back. Yeah, as you say, so many different phases.
Yeah. Especially for the Arsenal too. Catley, who, yes, he's very versatile and has played centre-half now for the best part of 2 years. But, using experience, Reed, a very young player who looks so comfortable.
To be fair, it was only a year ago that Slagers came in.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, forget about that. I forget she hasn't had a full season.
Well, it wasn't this game, was it? It was the match week 4 or 5 that Idval went after game 4. I think. Or was it game 3? So, because there was Everton in there as well. There was Everton, Chelsea, and I want to say there was another game, but I can't
remember the Chelsea
Man
one.
City in the opener.
Yes. Yeah.
I think there was those 3, and then Bayern in the Champions League. That's what I'm forgetting. But yeah, so it was after this game that Slagers came in. So it's only now that she's had a full season.
Yeah, true.
In total. Rolfo. Lovely drive inside. Here is Maya Letitia. Ball over the top. Headed down well by Little. Now back in possession are Arsenal. Van Domsela. Here is Catley. And Arsenal potentially readying changes. And it's Taylor Hines and Chloe Kelly to warm up. Taylor Hines would change this game. That much.
Yeah.
They just came beat out of field time.
If you bring both of them on, this game is going to get very interesting.
Yeah.
Because suddenly everyone is playing down their right-hand sides.
It'll make the game a lot more open if both those players come on the field.
Yeah.
Right on the right-hand side, Fox looks to pick out. Alessia Russo holds the ball up well. Now it's Little. McCabe looks to strike it, gives it to Ford now, who clips it into the area, and Sandberg deals with it well and gets it clear. And Mallard will give chase to this. Catley and Reed have got to deal with it. Mallard will put them under pressure. And that's a bit of a mess there. And Mallard wins it back cleanly and is brought down by Little. And Kirsty Dowd has closed her eyes, put her fingers in her ears and pretended that she's not the ref. Because how on earth is that not a foul on Melvin Mallard?
I don't get how she's watched that whole sequence and given nothing. Because I'm not saying it is a foul on Katie Reed, but it is quite aggressive.
I thought that was just okay.
It was on the line, though.
It's like the 5th time in this game where Reed just got between them and looked to go down.
And then Mallard has got the ball and Little just takes her legs out from underneath her. Yeah. And now Mallard's in a lot of pain. That one, yeah, I think that's okay. And in this one,
she doesn't get the ball. She just doesn't
see that again.
She doesn't get the ball.
No, she comes through. Yeah, she makes contact with the ball, but she comes through it all at the same time. Which doesn't count.
Which has gone through Mallard.
Yeah, you
to
can't
get to the ball.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't take it all at once. If she takes the ball and then Mallard, that's fine. But she just takes it all out at the same time.
That's a clear foul and a yellow card in
right
that
in front of
sort
it.
of position. And Kirsty Dow was right there.
Meanwhile, Emily Heath's had a weekend off.
She's in Barbados.
I don't know.
Here's Ford. Wants to take on Zigiotti. And Bizet's very assertive in that one. Shirley's been given as a foul as Ford brings down Bizet.
I'm surprised Skinner hasn't made changes. I really thought he'd have been sharp on that.
She who cares as the lads are pissed. No, I just like, I see fairness. I just can't understand from a referee's perspective how you don't give that. Got no horse in this race.
Yeah, to be honest, overall, I'm just getting frustrated at the things that are happening in this game. It's not been a good referee performance. Russo's in the 10. United haven't really come forward. Like, what happened to this football match?
Talis Joyce. And it's Russo who wins the first ball. Flick forwards by Letitia. And Rolfo can't quite nod that onto Mallard. I remember this game 2 years ago. And I believe it was either 0-0 or 1-0. I think it was 0-0.
It was late drama, wasn't it?
And D'Angelo missed the ball.
Oh, no, that one. Yeah, that one. Oh, that was 2-2, wasn't it?
there's so much has happened. Last season, it was a close game, and then Mallard scored on an
Maybe that's
equaliser
I
or a
think that's
winner,
the one I'm thinking of.
and that was 1-1. I think that was at the Lee Sports Village. And then it was 2 years ago
where D'Angelo came out and missed the ball. It was then
D'Angelo came out and missed the ball. I think that was either was that near the start or was that at the end?
That was near the start, right near the start. I have to say, yeah, and that's the problem. We've seen some brilliant matches between these two sides, and today has been okay. But
4-3 at the end of last season, weren't it? At the end.
Exactly. Neither side's done anything in front of goal. Arsenal still have not created a big chance. United have had 4-5 shots.
No, it was at the end of the game where Mallard scored in the 81st. I think that's when D'Angelo missed it. And then in the 93rd, Lacasse got the equaliser.
Oh, yeah.
It's a throwback. Here's Jess Park. Let's make something happen on the edge of the box. Toon. Ziggiotti could strike it, and it's just wide of the mark from Yulia Ziggiotti. Finally, though, this second half coming to life a little bit with after 15 minutes.
United. That's United's best chance since the 13th minute. And it's not a bad effort, but that speaks volumes.
Mallard had a shot right at the start of the second half, but yeah.
That was charged down by Catley, and, you know. I'll tell you what, it's not... that's a lot closer than I thought it was, to be honest.
Yulia Ziggiotti.
But how have we got to 61 minutes and it is still the same 22 players on the pitch? Really surprises me. Because I can't imagine either manager is happy with where they are in the game at the moment. Arsenal will feel like they should have used the fact that the possession to score a goal.
Yeah, just saying, by the way, on that game 2 years ago, only 6 players across the 2-11s start today.
Wow.
What an incredible turnover. There's Mallard, nowhere to go. Back to Toon instead. And now it's into Maya Letitia. Ziggiotti wants to carry this ball forward now, and there is room to drive into. Turns backwards and is taken down by the recovering Ford.
That one was okay. That was a good tackle.
That's another good tackle there from Bizet to win the ball back. And United now will try and come forwards. Toon, a touch escapes her a Little. Wants to take on Kim Little. Little drags her down. And that will be a Manchester United free kick here.
I've never watched both players play none of the football. The ball just ran off somewhere and Toon and Little would ground each other. But yeah, this game is just starting to get somewhere. Because United are starting to get forwards, which not only means that they're getting more opportunities, but it also means they're becoming a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Their shifting mentality from Skinner and United is now they can start going for the game. They've done well. They've ridden out some tough passages, but now they're going for it.
That's a great ball into Sandberg, who will look to beat Reed now. Really good defending from Katie Reed. Looks mature beyond her years.
Yeah.
And that's excellent.
There's a reason Williamson said at the start of the season that Katie Reed one day would take her shirt, because that is the kind of performance that we've seen today.
HB says, can the coach not see our midfield getting cooked? René is pissing me off. The midfield's been awful this season for Arsenal. The fact that the lack of a response is poor, I think. Triple change coming. It's a mixed triple change. It's going to be Chloe Kelly, Taylor Hines, and Frida Marnham, which should change the profile of their attack. And United's.
Yeah, Kelly can come on and make a difference. Taylor Hines.
Black tennis off for Marnham.
Ruto's going up front, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, it's taken 64 minutes, but we've finally got there.
It'll be Olivia Smith off for Chloe Kelly, fairly like, and Kim Little making way for Taylor Hines. That's not true. It's Kate McCabe. Not sure what the BBC has got there.
What's the point in that change?
What, Kelly for Smith? Kelly put the ball in the box?
No, McCabe for Hines.
Because
it doesn't make him more defensively solid.
Well, may just let
Calvin
Tay get the ball forward.
True.
Of course, who's going into midfield now? It's not Little coming off. BBC, I don't know why they think it was Kim Little coming off. Fairly sure it's McCabe, because we saw McCabe walk off.
Yeah.
And it is Katie McCabe, and I don't think she'll be pleased.
No. That's right. They've got another left back now. They're going to rotate them.
Here's Hines. You'd think you'd get Hines to drop off a little more and let Caldente go forwards and actually attack. I don't know why she's always the deepest line midfielder. She's literally Arsenal's best creator, and we never see her do anything. Kelly tries to take on Sandberg. Good defending from the United left back. The ball up the line. That's going to run through to Katie Reid.
What's United's response now? Arsenal triple change. What do United go for? Who do they bring on? Turland, if she's fit and ready. I think...
Again, I don't think fitness is the issue with Turland. That was just a choice. Obviously, I know Turland played Thursday night.
Why has Marlon got gloves on?
Choice has gloves on.
September. The sun's out. And also, now she had to take them off because her boots fallen
To be
off.
fair, we're sat in a shed boiling, so it's not too much. It's not too much different.
Oh, yeah.
This show would be difficult out in the sun, though.
It would be.
Different vibe. Arsenal on the ball. Pass down the line. Kelly looks to beat Sandberg with a drop of the shoulder. Sandberg stands her up well, and Kelly runs it off the field of play. Now for United, goal kick. They're definitely now trying to get Kelly just to run at Sandberg and try and get something out of that.
Which I don't...
Twice now, that's a pass straight into Kelly.
Yeah, which is obviously the game plan. I don't mind that, but is that the right thing to do when Sandberg's played as well as she has?
Got to try and hurt them somehow.
Why have Arsenal stopped doing that thing where they swap the wingers over halfway through a half? They didn't do that in the first half. Why?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do it first.
That would have worked perfectly.
Yeah, they've got the wingers on the right side. Janssen.
Again, I
Pass
said...
it down to Jess Park.
Ooh, too much.
Back by Arsenal. Marnham. Great win in there from Letitia. Mallard now wants to take this ball on. Reid does really well there to stand it up, but then falls over and tries to hack down Mallard. That's not a foul. It's not a foul on Reid. Why did the ref stop the game?
Oh, Reid fell over the football.
That's never a foul on Reid.
Sorry, she's still on the ball.
Into Mallard. He's been brought down there by Kim Little. But more like she stood on the football, but that should have been a free kick, according to Kirsty Dow. Here come Arsenal. Marlon from the edge, and it's wide. Struck it well, but not on target.
This is starting to just spark into life with 23 minutes on the clock.
But that is twice now where big defensive errors from Arsenal have not been punished because Kirsty Dow has made two pretty strange decisions.
I mean, let's just because
they would just see what you give off that Reid one. She's just fallen over the football.
They're difficult ones because what's between it's Mallard and Reid, and what's happening is they're both jostling each other. Because when you watch the whole sequence, you think, Reid's fouled Mallard. Oh, no, hang on, no, Mallard's now fouling Reid, and it kind of hard. I think when they're both jostling each other, you just have to give nothing because you can't really give it either way.
I don't think either commits more of a foul than the other does. And then the Reid falling over the ball is separate. But, yeah, strange one. Ralpho wins that ball back well from Fox. It's kicked out of play by Chloe Kelly. And that will be a United throw. And it's Sambo that will take it on the left-hand side. Looking to progress down the line. Not many options, though. Ralpho takes it into feet, back to Sandberg. Now Miyazawa. And then here's Dominic Janssen, who will switch the play effectively into Bizet. And there's space now for Celine Bizet to drive into. Opts to go back. So you can feel the heat of Ford on her shoulder. Miyazawa. Back to Bizet. It's been really interesting to watch Miyazawa as a single pivot player and Caldente as the deepest line midfielder today.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating to me that both sides have got an attack midfielder, and then you've got Man City, who are currently playing Blinker Brown as a single pivot. That was just gone mental this season.
Lauren James is just standing around in front of the defence.
Here's Fox. I mean, they're technically gifted, they've got good pass range, they're good at retaining the ball in tight spaces, but do you not want to get their creativity? Do you not want to, get that huge plus from them playing in those attacking areas? It confuses me. And then you look at both these sides currently struggling to break each other down. Good win back in there from Celine Bizet. It definitely doesn't help that United's best creators are playing right back and defensive midfield. But that one more forced from injury. Riviere would have had a
surely both these sides have got to go for it now because a draw favours nobody.
I think Mark's going to be very happy with the draw.
Yeah, but that's Mark's. He'd draw against everyone if he could.
Ball in behind. A chance now for Blackstenius, and it's blocked by Janssen. I think if you look at it from both teams' perspectives, the only way they beat Chelsea is if Chelsea aren't perfect again. and obviously by beating Chelsea head on head, in those hectic pitches. Obviously, beating teams like United is important, but it's the risk of losing and falling behind both of these two teams.
True.
So for both sides today, if they lose, they drop behind the other team and Chelsea.
True.
And then that's more of a thing. So the point, as much as it takes them 2 points behind Chelsea, they're not going to win the league unless they can beat Chelsea in a head-to-head anyway.
And they'll be level with the opposition they play here.
And head of Man City.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I think they'll push for it last 15, of course, because the 3 points is huge at the end of the day. But
and United are at home. That's
you've got to weigh up the risk of pushing against, the risk of conceding against the benefit of scoring, of which I think at this early stage of the season, the benefit of scoring isn't particularly high.
True. If this is the return game at the Emirates and there's 20 minutes left, then both teams would be going gun ho for it because they'd probably need they need the 3 points.
Yeah, they still play in January. That one.
Oh, okay.
Still halfway through the season, isn't it? But here's Caldente. Can she make something happen on the edge of the area? Finds a pass through to Freedom Arnhem, and that's blocked well. Now Kelly. Delivery in towards the back post. Tulloch's choice. That's phenomenal goalkeeping. Claims it well. Clutches it to her chest.
I don't think Pitt will realise how difficult that is to do. Tracking backwards to claim that and hold on to it. She does very, very well. But I think she does well because she knows she's not going to stand up straight. So she goes into that by falling backwards. Too many people there try and run backwards while staying up straight, and they either don't catch the ball or they knock themselves over.
So what's happening now? Because Tajra's had the ball in her hands for about 10 seconds, and we've just stopped. So the BBC Gabriel interview with Leah Gowan.
What is on a football match?
They're having as a stoppage for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, Tajra's claimed the ball, and then was stopped. Phil says, "Bang on. The whole season depends on who takes points off Chelsea." Yeah, and again, if Arsenal lose today to United, then they're in a much worse position than if they draw. Whereas obviously if they beat United, yes, they're in a great position, but it's just it's weighing up that risk versus reward.
I'm really hoping Bees hasn't feigned an injury so Leia Goughton can do an interview. This is the problem though. If Bees is injured, then United are going to spell trouble. But an opportunity now for both sides, both coaching staffs, to get information into their players. I am stunned Man United haven't made a change. I really am. I know their bench is pretty weak.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth Turland sat there.
I think they'll be pleased with the balance right now. Turland doesn't give... I mean, they're thinking about Turland, evidently, because she's stripped and she's only wearing a bib, so she is coming on soon. Turland, if you want a goal, comes on. But she doesn't give you as much in behind, and they're going to hurt Arsenal today most in transition if Arsenal now push for a goal.
Yeah.
And that's where Mallard is dangerous. But... yeah, I think Turland also offers you a huge amount of threat if you can get the ball in the box and get it on her head.
I think Arsenal will feel, just based on the way the match has played, that they should have made more of this, really.
I don't know. I think United have been the better side for most of the game. Arsenal just haven't. They've had one shot on target.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They should have done better than that. But they've had, with the amount of the ball they've had, the 15-minute spell they had towards the end of the first half, they should have made more from it. They should have created so much more.
Yeah, okay, but that's a different thing. So yeah, I agree. Arsenal should have played better. Should have created better chances.
No side deserves to win this. Neither side's done anything in front of goal, but with Arsenal, the amount of ball they've had, they should have created more chances.
Yeah, 54 to 46% possession, 6 shots to 7.
Both sides should have
3 on target to 1.
Have Arsenal had a big chance yet?
No.
How many have United had?
1.
Oh,
That's the Mallard chance early on, isn't it?
Terrible.
That's the thing. United wants to overcommit for it. Yildu says, "Go Arsenal." Chico says, "I love Tyler's choice where she was at Arsenal." Well, this is the strange thing, because Van Domstal was one of the most highly rated goalkeepers at Aston Villa. Arsenal coming forwards now. Marnham will be seen wide to Taylor Hines. Back to Freedom Arnhem, who can make something happen here. Clips the ball towards Kelly. And Sandberg gets the touch onto Kelly, and it's off the pitch.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Sandberg. She has been incredible today. Has kept whoever's been on that right-hand side quiet.
That's counted as a shot, by the way, from Chloe Kelly.
What an effort. Just slapped her in the face.
Double change coming from Manchester United. Legs in midfield and a change up front. It's Melby Mallard making way for Elizabeth Turland. And then Lisa Nalsund, who I can only assume was coming on for someone other than Ziggiotti, because if not, why was going to have a chat with
Is it going to
Ziggiotti?
be Bizet right back?
Oh, possibly. We saw that happen on the other night, yes. Celine Bizet off for Nalsund.
That ball needs to go to Caitlin Ford every single time now for
put
Arsenal.
under pressure now.
New right back on the pitch, you've got to run at her. Got to try and cause her problems.
And for United, they've got to try and just get the ball up to Turland, get her to hold it up.
Exactly that.
And then create from there.
This is it now. This is 15 minutes. United have made their changes. Arsenal have made theirs.
Phil says Turland is way more scary. To me, we are lacking in the air. I think Van Donsla's really poor at claiming crosses. Nalsoon's gone midfield. I think it's Ziggiotti Olma then at right back. Nalsoon tries to flick it onto Park. Yeah, Ziggiotti's gone right back.
Okay. I think it still stands.
Hines into Russo, who looks to turn Letitia. That is phenomenal from Maya Letitia. Take a bow. Just stands her up well, recovers it nicely, knocks it back to her goalkeeper.
Because initially it's brilliance from Russo, takes it on the turn and bursts away, but Letitia with the recovery and doesn't commit a foul either. Brilliant from the both of them, but again, defensively, both these sides have been superb. Very well played all round. Both back fours.
Fox to Reed. Now Catley. Here's Taylor Hines. Caldente. Back to Catley. Here's Caldente. And now it's Katie Reed. Pass up the line. Manages to find Emily Fox. Chloe Kelly back towards Fox. Puts the ball into the box and it's won back by Lisa Nalsoon. And she can't find a forward pass. And it's Arsenal back in possession. Caldente lifts it forward, headed away well by Dominique Janssen. Nalsoon caught in possession again. Here's Taylor Hines. Wants to take on Park and Ziggiotti makes the challenge. And then it has struck the hand of Ziggiotti. No intention, but Hines kicks it up into her arm.
Got to use this, Arsenal. Got to use this now.
In a good area.
Just outside the penalty area. It's a crossing opportunity. Well, not just outside, but it's a crossing opportunity. Got to put this towards the back post. Pile players into the penalty area. And just try and put pressure on the United back line.
And it's Taylor Hines over it.
Do you not have Chloe Kelly on it? Whip it in. Caldente has also stood there.
She's hiding. The camera decided to focus on Taylor Hines, who's nowhere near the ball. It's Mariana Caldente, lifts it into the box. Headed away well by Elizabeth Turland. Forward, back across the area. Russo heads it down and Kelly's cleared it away. That's got to be a better shot.
Yeah. Russo does so well to nod it back across into towards the penalty spot towards Kelly, who just needs to get over it. I'm not really sure what she's tried to do with it because it doesn't end up anywhere near the goal.
She tries to strike it at the highest point that ball's going to be at.
Yeah.
Seemingly. And so she just gets under it and clears it away almost. Meads coming on for Caitlin Ford. Arsenal throwing on fresh attack to try and break down United now. Now Mead wants to swap with Kelly, which they'll do in a moment. No, I'm not a master in hand signals, but I think I understood that one. Here's Letitia. It's a great pass into Miyazawa, and that's just bypassed Arsenal's press. And Miyazawa's pass, though, not perfect. Mead tries to take on Sandberg, and then piggybacker hasn't quite worked out. That's good defending from Miyazawa to see that out as Fox tried to burst past her.
10 minutes.
United goal kick.
Big 10 minutes. I think it's that balance between risk versus reward. Because how valuable a goal would be, but it would be a massive, massive loss.
Cisse sends it forward. Hines heads it down. Here's Little. Now Caldente. Hines. Caldente. Back to Taylor Hines. And that's a ball into the box. And that hits the side netting.
Not good enough. At this point, you've got to get your foot around it and get it in the penalty area. Yeah, not much more both managers can do now. Arsenal has 4 subs. United have only had 2, but the bench is so thin that I don't think they'll make
United got
anymore.
2 stoppages, but their bench consists of Mara Griffiths, who never played a senior minute before, Anderson, who's never played a senior minute, Jessica Anderson, who's never played a senior minute before, Rachel Williams, Gabby George, and 2 goalkeepers.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's coming on.
No, because I'm not sure if George is fit yet, and
even if she is, you don't throw her into her first.
to be fair, I think I've just seen her stripping off, so we could see Gabby George soon. Ball in behind, looking for Turland. It's missed by Steph Catley. Turland tries to take on Reed. That's brilliant from Reed. Big mistake from Catley.
What a
And
tackle!
Reed has bailed her out phenomenally. Kelly goes down there under pressure from Ziggiotti.
Again, it's experienced defending from such a young player. Doesn't dive in, doesn't panic when she sees her centre half partner make an error. Just stands tall and just takes the ball off Turland.
Into Hines, who occupies the wide space well, tries to play it into Russo, but she won't get any fortune up against Letitia. And that's sent forwards by Tullis Joyce. Turland can't quite get that under control, under pressure from Catley.
I'm so annoyed we didn't get to see this Letitia versus Russo battle earlier, because it's been really good. So since Russo was put back up front.
And now here's Daphne Van Domselaar. Reed carries it forward well. Lovely give and go on the right hand side for Arsenal, but it hasn't come to anything. Too heavy a pass from Mead back to Ford. Back to Fox, sorry. And it's Gabby George coming on for United. So just potentially going to go a little more defensive.
Yeah, I think it's weird though, because Sambo's done really well defensively, and I don't think that change makes much of a difference at this point. So it's a risk, I think, that from United. I know Arsenal just throwing fresh wingers on, but Sambo's managing just fine.
Mm.
Unless it's not a left back, but I don't know who on earth would then be coming on or off. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. It just feels like an unnecessary change if it is going to be a like for like at left back.
Fresh legs though. They just put Mead on there. Potentially Sandberg's tiring, but yeah, I keep the structure the same. They've already changed one fullback.
Les Rolfo's coming off.
Might have Sandberg to see that out. And Gabby George will now come on to replace her. You would assume.
That is Rolfo, isn't it?
Yeah, number 12, Brilliant Rolfo. 5 back.
That makes more sense.
Gabby George back at it. Brilliant Rolfo making way. Not a bad debut from Rolfo, but I think first half she showed some glimpses. Second half was less involved. So Gabby George, is she going left back, left wing back, left centre half? What's happening?
I think she's gone left back and Sandberg's pushed on.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But it's just more defensive, really, isn't it? Well, they now haven't really got any wingers on the pitch because Park and Toon are kind of very narrow and very central.
Here's Taylor Hines to take on Jess Park. Park sees her wide, and Hines gives away possession cheaply, but it's won back by Little. Now Mead. Little. And now here is Catley. Van Domselaar back to Catley. And it's Mead now. Wide on the left-hand side. Gives it to Little under pressure from Narsoon. Taylor Hines pass through the lines into Mead, and that's one back in there by Ziggiotti. That's a bit of a flailing leg, and Ziggiotti thinks Mead's made an absolute meal of that. We'll see a replay.
She has made a meal of that, but it's still a high foot, I think. Mead's done well, yeah. It was just a bit rash from Ziggiotti.
Well, it's difficult. She's just gone to clear it, but because Mead's thrown herself around in there.
Oh no, Mead's ducked into that. Oh no.
Yeah, it's not high.
No, Mead's ducked into it. I'm not even sure there's too much contact because Mead goes down holding the front of her head, which was absolutely fine once the free kick had been given. And Zigiotti's foot was behind her.
Scaldente over this. clipped towards the back post.
Brilliant.
Great goalkeeping from Tullis Joyce again in there. Who claims it well.
Got to get a move on, though.
Arsenal player on top of her.
Yeah, love this. Just commits to it. That's exactly what we need to do as a goalkeeper.
Great claim.
Doesn't matter if you take your teammate out.
Well, says it's only a high foot if you're a very small person. Yeah. Very true. I think Mead's done well to buy that. Here's Sandberg. Gives it to Toom. Back down the line to Sandberg. Who will now come inside. Miyazawa. Back to George. Goes down the line. One back in there by Fox. And now they can look to play. Little. Kelly. And now it's Reed. Back to Van Domselaar. Catley. Under pressure from Park. And that's a poor pass from Van Domselaar again. And United with a throw in heart of the field.
Definitely Van Domselaar.
Just poor today.
Yeah.
Really poor.
I think that they've got a way that she hasn't been tested because in the last two games, really, because of the known goal against West Ham and today, it's just, it's been just dropped the ball and got away with it. A couple, misplaced passes here and there. It's been a weird one.
Well, the shots on target all came in the first 13 minutes. Since then, they haven't put one on Van Domselaar. And even then, she parried this effort from Mallard and she made an absolute mess of the one that then fell to the second one for Mallard in the 13th minute. And then the Park one she managed to save. But, yeah, I think they're fortunate, Arsenal, that United haven't put her under more pressure. George is unable to keep that in touch. United throwing.
All about
going so deep in their own corner.
All about being smart there from Sandberg. If you're in that corner, you can't cross it. It's not really a passing option. You just smash it at the defender in front of you and you win a corner.
Yeah. Or another throw, in which case you just do the same. But
yeah. Record attendance, by the way, at the Leigh Sports Village for Man United. That's good to see.
Great to see.
It's a shame.
Hopefully now we start to see them more at Old Trafford. This is the kind of game that should be at Old Trafford, really. Obviously, I know the men's side were there yesterday, so it's a logistical
and that
difficulty.
Pitch was really struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame that they haven't been able to see any goals.
Yeah. Ball long, looking for the run of Alessia Russo, headed away.
It's a big
by Janssen. And now it's Kelly. Drops it for Fox, who take the throw. I think it says a lot the BBC are about to give their player of the match to Tullis Joyce by the looks of it. That's the only explanation for the weird slow pan to her.
I mean, really?
Has anyone had I don't think any individual. I mean, like I'd go one of the centre backs probably, but
yeah,
because they've done well defensively. But
she had 2 saves.
You can't really clip up good tackles and good blocking, though, can you? For a highlights package,
True.
For player of the match moments. That's what BBC are thinking. But yeah, not gonna play the match yet because might be a goal in this game, which case probably changes to the other set of centre half. Here's Hines. Sends it forwards. Cleared away by Letitia. And now Fox. Back to Reed. Bursting forwards, Emily Fox. Can she find a teammate? Looks to go across. It's me towards Hines, who misses the ball and takes out Letitia for good measure.
I mean, that's just like 2 really poor things there. You don't want to miss the ball. And if you are going to miss the ball, don't just smash into their centre half.
It wasn't a great opportunity, really, but
no.
Yeah, and I was right. BBC have given Fantastic Choice player of the match.
But this is incredible because they haven't put our stats up with it, have they? Usually it goes player of the match, goals 3, saves 11. That's different, people. I haven't got a goal kicker scoring a hat trick and making 11 saves.
Yeah, 1 save for Tyler's Choice today,
and that's a player of the match performance. I mean,
tough day in the office.
Yeah. Go on, give us
Hines' throw.
Give us a lot of added time.
Reed caught in possession, bailed out by Reed. They're good defending. Here's Caldente. Now it's back with Catley. And in terms of additional time, we've got 6 more minutes in this game. A chance to find a winner. Good defending from Zigiotti to win that back from Russo. United going forwards now. Ball long into Turland. Good hold up from the Norwegian. And now it's back with Kim Little, who gives it to Van Domselaar. So ball wise, look out. This ball forwards much better though as it finds Dominic Janssen, who looked to be caught in there by Marnham, but it continues as Rousseau carries the ball back into midfield. Here is Fox. Now Reed. Into Caldente, Fox. And now Mariana Caldente sends it forwards. Marnham cleared away well by Dominic Janssen.
Really well managed by Janssen. Didn't dive in, timed it well, cleared the ball away.
Ball in from Chloe Kelly, and that's dealt with by Park. And then poked on. And now it's back with the Arsenal defenders, Catley. And while Arsenal still 0-0 here, it's taken just 9 minutes in the Premier League for them to be a goal behind to Manchester City. But can the Arsenal women find something in the last 5 minutes, or can United stave them off? Could United break away as Arsenal have it high up the pitch here? Here's Caldente. Knocks it out to the right-hand side. Here's Emily Fox, who passes it on to Kelly. Back inside for Kim Little. Ball in. Great claim. Tyler's Choice catches it, claims it to her chest.
Really good stuff. Not bad from Little. Dancing down the right-hand side, but the cross straight at Talis Joyce, who will hold on to this ball as long as she possibly can.
And it's sent forward by Fallon Talis Joyce. Misjudged in there by Hines, and it's Turland who brings it down. Shifts it to Park. Now Toon. Carries it forward. Now Sandberg. Doesn't like the option down the line. Goes back to George. Miyazawa. George. Gets caught in possession again there, George. He's just looked a bit sluggish since coming on. And now they come forwards, Arsenal. Rousseau. Good hold up. Back across to Taylor Hines. And she'll slow it down. Catley. Reed. CV and Letter, welcome to the stream. There's no easy match this season. Well, West Ham haven't looked good. But
Yeah.
everyone else has been able to offer a good fight to an opponent.
Mm.
Other than, I guess Liverpool as well, to be fair. Also, haven't been great.
True. Tell you what, it's going to take something special now for one of these two sides to win this game.
All scrappy. That's options.
True.
Hines under pressure from Turland, who gives it away. And now here come United. Park. Like, should have made more of that.
Oh.
And it's Arsenal who look to come the other way. Fox
Oh, what is that?
smashes it to Talis Joyce.
Two minutes. Well, just over 2 minutes. What? Oh, United are playing with fire in their own third.
Here's Zigiotti. Toon. Flicks it round the corner. And now here comes Jess Park. Carries it forwards well. Toon now looks to take aim from range, and it trickles past the post. And where's there a touch in there off an Arsenal player?
No.
I was just surprised by the reaction. Everyone seemed to be getting ready for a corner.
Decision making, though.
Yeah, can't do
Not
better.
the right. That's not the right decision. And if you're going to do that, you've got to go far corner. A change for United. Last change. Rachel Williams is coming on. They're playing for a point.
Yes.
Who's she coming on for?
Toon? No.
Sandberg.
Okay.
So, United are
Just putting Rachel Williams on the left-hand
Yeah.
side now. Maybe she'll score a corner.
bringing a sub on, waste time.
Exactly. And Sandberg's had a good game. Really good game from Sandberg.
And you feel like that'll be that with a minute to go. Yeah, that's the reaction from the United bench. They're happy in the position they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, Reed, brilliant jostling with Miyazawa.
Poked round the corner. Here is Williams. Good hold up from the United forward. Now Turland turns well. Puts it into the box. Mead gets it clear. That's a poor decision from Kelly. Back to Williams in the penalty area. Got to get the ball in the box. Miyazawa back out to George. Swings it in there. It's on the goal, though. They saw what happened at the West Ham game.
Got to be a better delivery than that from George. That was probably United's last chance. Probably the last chance of the game.
More than likely, yeah.
Had to do better with that.
Dallas Joyce sends it forward. Header one in there by Niall Soon. Now Williams plays it on to Toon. Into Park. Jess Park for Manchester United across to Ella Toon on the left-hand side. Tries to put it into the box. Headed away. And now Freedom Arnhem can break away.
Got to be a tactical foul there.
Kelly. Russo on the right-hand side. And that is the full-time whistle here at the Leeds Sports Village. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0. And a drop of points for both sides. The two teams who were probably closest to Chelsea for the title this season. Neither side able to find the back of the net. Second half, nobody could create anything. Not a single shot on target or big chance created in the second half.
Wow.
A great display from both defences. But Arsenal stumped early in the season by United.
Really good stuff from both sides defensively. And that is a performance for the defensive coach of the team. But one big chance created across 90 minutes by both teams, not each, one between the two of them, is not good enough. You will not win football games like that.
Well, it's a simple case of United looked at this game and didn't want to lose. And they played more defensive. They looked at this game as we're happy with the draw. They even played like that towards the end of the match. And the problem was Arsenal just couldn't break them down.
No.
That was a big problem. Arsenal couldn't create chances in this game. They must have 0.52 XG. 8 shots, 1 on target, not a single big chance created. The same problems that I spoke about in the first 2 weeks with Arsenal, where they can't create chances and can't progress the ball, were prevalent here. And against a really good defensive side in Manchester United, they couldn't break them down. And that's a big early drop of points because that leaves the table with Chelsea with a 2-point gap at the top.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, United just didn't get anything going in transition. They sat a little bit deeper than normal and Arsenal defended.
But I think Arsenal were also balancing risk. They did sit off a little deeper. They didn't want to commit too high and then allow United to transition. So it was a very interesting tactical game. Neither side, went for it really.
Yeah.
Arsenal, I get they obviously they didn't want to lose, so they went. They didn't really go for it at the end. While United were going more defensive because United were very happy to draw that.
It's not a bad point for either side. At this point in the season, it's not a bad point.
I don't think it's too bad.
Especially with Arsenal, being the away side as well, I don't think either side will be disappointed with a point too much.
This point will all depend on Arsenal's next 3 because they've got some really tough fixtures. Aston Villa at home, Manchester City away, Brighton at home. 2 sides, all 3 sides I expect to be in the top half this season. It's a tough run for Arsenal. If in 3 weeks' time they've won all those matches, they'll look at this result and go, that's positive because we're in a really good position. If they drop points in any of those 3 matches, I think they're in a really tough spot then already.
Yeah, based on what other teams do. Exactly. It's one of those where, as you say, for both these sides, if they now go on and remain the unbeaten run for 7-8 games, this is a really good point. But yeah,
it also depends because you're not Chelsea face Manchester United in 2 weeks' time at the Leeds Sports Village. If they also draw that game 0-0, then Arsenal look at that as there's no problem. But The problem Arsenal have got is they've got to beat City because Chelsea beat City. So, but I don't think Arsenal will look at that too poorly. I think they'll understand it was a difficult one today. United played defensively; they were very difficult to break down, and ultimately Arsenal couldn't find that breakthrough.
And the difference is, up against when the lower sides play a bit of a deeper line and sit deeper, you can afford to throw more attackers at that. But Arsenal, of course, didn't want to do that because you're playing Man United, and if you throw more, that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to throw more attackers at it, and then you leave yourselves vulnerable. So, it was a difficult one. I think both sides balanced it decently. It just meant that it ended up being two very good defensive before. Because as we pointed out halfway through the second half, this game has usually been where both sides have got the balance wrong and they've both gone aggressive, and it's ended up being 4-3 or a crazy game. But both sides just balanced it out, opted to go more defensive, and it's led to a 0-0 draw.
Yeah. There we go. Well, we'll be back on Tuesday with the weekend roundup. We're recording that tomorrow. So look out for that when that drops on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's more than likely going to be a tactical breakdown of Arsenal Man United if I can find anything worth talking about there. Probably how good the defences were. But yeah, it now leaves Chelsea top of the league on 9, then United on 7, and then Arsenal on 7. City right back in it on 6. Really.
Only 3 points off top, and they've lost a game. It's not a terrible position to be in.
Well, yeah. A point off Arsenal and United, having already played Chelsea, I think is the more positive way to look at it. So, yeah, either way, we'll be back on Tuesday with more where we'll discuss all of the games from this UWCL game week, and I'll probably be in tears about aerial fantasy because it's gone horribly wrong this week. What brilliant idea have you had?
Van Dom, Salah, Letitia and Fox.
There you go. I took out Van Dom, Salah and Edozie, which went horribly wrong, and Edozie gave away a penalty against a terrible team. And I had Riviere as my United defender, who didn't play. So there we go. We'll be back on Tuesday though with our full weekend roundup, so join us there. That is everything. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.